Greetings and welcome. Magebit here. Glad to be here. We are back. And we are quite packed for a panel today. We got Magebit, as always. We got Pyrnassius, Derpdragon, David. We had quite the pre-show, and we're going to have a great show for you today. We are doing a show called Mobile the Golden Age. I wish it was RuneScape 3's Golden Age, but we are seeing a Golden Age nonetheless. We will jump into the show fairly quickly here. I will go ahead and unmute myself here. There we go. We can pull up the show notes. They're pretty much ready, I would say. So we can jump into the show. I'll switch over to them. To the music that we need for the show. Yada yada, I can do that. Yep. Bloop. Hey Death Star. Hey Snailcat. It's good to see you. It's good to see you all. I'll switch over to my game as well. Bloop. There I am. Hanging out. Chilling. Be killing some Abbey Demons in a moment. I crossed the 500k mark on Abbey Demons. That's a little achievement, I suppose. Yeah, so let me go
halfway there.
Halfway there. Halfway to something. Well, I get the Hazel Sigma. What's the drop rate on that? It's 1 in like 5 million or something? 10 million? I forget. Hey Thieves.
Yeah, I think it was 1 in 10.
10 million? So like,
yeah,
super like I'm just like, I'm trying like in 1 million. I know my chances are super low, but like, you know, maybe I'll get lucky. Alright, what am I doing here? What's this? I don't need that open. Alright, I just need my good old VLC player to pop open here, and I'll tell Spotify? No, not you. Alright, I just need Spotify to cease playing the beautiful RuneScape 3 soundtrack. Alright. Hey, Mr. Ling. Pleasure to have you in chat. Alright, and I will go ahead and begin the show. Alright, let's do this. Full screen, otherwise I'm not going to be able to read this. My eyesight is just getting worse and worse and worse. That's which frightens me, because reading is quite important. Alright, we good? We good. 3, 2, 1... You're listening to RuneScape Weekly for November 9th, 2018. I'm your host, Magebit, with over 17 years of RuneScape experience. Joining me today is Pyrnassius, Derpdragon, and David. And on today's show, OSRS has won Kappa. Happy about OSRS Mobile, but quit OSRS for RuneScape 3. PvM Tastes the Rainbow. Comp Cape and Group Boss suggestions. A Dangerous Precedent. Big I Quit post, and how to fix RuneScape 3. Thanks for tuning in, and enjoy the show. Welcome to your RuneScape Weekly podcast. Magebit here. We're going to have a show for you, that's for sure. It's going to be, I don't want to say weird, but it's going to be an interesting show here, because we have a lot of old school RuneScape content. I've titled the show Age, what is it, like the golden age of mobile, because we're seeing some of the highest numbers that RuneScape has seen in like 10 years, but it's not in RuneScape 3. It's in old school RuneScape, but that's because of accessibility. You know, there is no accessibility to RuneScape 3 mobile. Unless you're there's 20,000 people who can play RuneScape Mobile, let's be honest. RuneScape 3 Mobile. But there's unlimited access. Over 1 million people have downloaded OSRS Mobile. So, anyway, let's go through the roster here. Pyrnassius, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Picked up, still salty about last week's Halloween event, but we won't go there. I'll try and save that for next week's show. Apologies to everyone out there for talking RuneScape not being on this week. I was sick last week. RR Man was sick this week, so fingers crossed we'll get to it next Wednesday. But other than that, I have picked up my Golden Chinchompa and Magical Zygamite in the farm.
Nice.
So yeah, a couple of good little things that happened there. Slowly ticking off a few of the new achievements as well, but still just chasing that fire-making pet.
I got a golden Chinchompa by accident. Didn't even mean to. It just showed up in the pen. I was like, hey, what do I do with this? Is this supposed to do something? And then I looked it up and I was like, oh no, it's just a breeding log thing. Cool.
Yep. You don't even get any points for those.
I know. I was like, that's sad. I put it in my bank though.
Exactly. Yeah, but I mean, I'm sorry. It's like.
I know.
That should be
10 points. Yeah.
That 10 points, exactly.
Yeah, that should be something.
I mean, even if it's just completing the entire breeding log, 10 points, that's, it's worth they've got to do something for that.
100% that's worth 10 points, at least.
Yep. So I'm frustrated about that too. But
those Chinchompas put hard work into creating that golden Chinchompa. That's worth 10 points.
You know what is funny though? I had with my Zygamite in one pen I've got a glistening and a radiant. They weren't the ones that bred my magical one. The other one where I sort of just dump everything over to, I didn't check it yesterday for some reason, and two of them actually got to adult stage, and that's where the magical one showed up at. And the same with my Chinchompas. It was because I've got one which is trying to breed the unstable perk, because I will need one to blow up. Yeah, they were the ones who actually had the golden one as well. Not my ones. Not my two glistening. So,
I had an unstable chin completely blow up on me by accident as well. Like all this stuff just happens to me. I'm just letting it happen to me naturally. I'm all natural, baby.
I'm breeding. I've had about 6 of them so far, and they won't blow up for me.
That's how I live my life. I don't know, but again, this is just all happening very slowly. I'm not the farm will probably be finished by next year, sometime next year. Killer Bunny saying 10 points for skillers is basically negative 10 points to PvMers. Didn't you know that?
That's why they won't give us points for them.
They hate giving skillers points. Speaking of, there was I didn't put the achievement bonanza in the docket today. Let me quickly fix that. My sincerest apologies.
The best update we've had for the month.
Yeah, I mean they totally just buried that in there, didn't they? Sorry, but go ahead. Continue on with anything else you have or might have.
No, I was just going to say. And speaking of PvMers, hello to David.
Oh hey, yeah, what's going on, David? How you doing? I'm literally just going to talk about the achievement bonanza and nothing else.
He's gone radio silent on. So hello, Derpdragon, who is our other.
Yeah, what's going on, Derp? How you doing?
I'm doing okay. Just chilling at my first Abyssal Demon task on Old School.
How's Old School been treating you?
Really good. It's super fun so far. I don't think I'm going to get burnt out
Now, question
for another month.
Question for you: did you jump on Old School because of the mobile hype, or because you just wanted to play Old School?
It was just completely unrelated. Yeah,
unrelated.
It had nothing to do with mobile.
Do you use mobile, or are you just mainly a PC user, or what's going on there?
During my work breaks, I log on mobile and there's things called birdhouse runs. It's kind of like a farming run. I do those, and it takes like a minute, and then I log off. That's all I use mobile for.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's fair. That is a good use of mobile. Honestly, I would like to use mobile for farming runs on RuneScape 3. It's just so hard to move around in the game world. But I could see it being possible. It's getting there. And again, to be fair, I just finished updating my phone to the latest software, so maybe it's better now. I haven't given it an opportunity since the latest upgrade, so I need to give it that opportunity first, and then I will reassess and get back to you.
Yeah, I don't know how mobile users, if that's the only platform they stay on. I feel like that's a significantly downgraded experience, but
it is. Well, that's the joke always is like, oh, you can spot the mobile user. You know, that's always the joke, is like, it is a significantly downgraded experience as far as you're handicapped as far as the controls go, for the most part. That's why there's always been like, it's hard to mix mobile, it's hard to mix even console users and PC users because of the precise controls that a PC user has versus a console user. It's the same thing with a mobile user and a PC user. Even a mobile user has some advantages over a PC user, but a PC user has multiple advantages over a mobile user. There's many different pros and cons that exist in the mobile and PC arenas that I will not waste everyone's time with. But yeah, mobile opens a huge can of worms that are not really being discussed. But one of the main ones that was being discussed that I think probably would come to most people's minds were the remember the bolts that people were getting banned for. People were tapping on their screens and were getting banned for auto clicking or whatever.
Botting, yeah.
But things like that, like the game just wasn't ready or wasn't adaptive for that technology. So like, yeah, that was a distinct advantage where touchscreens came into play. But mice have a distinct advantage in PvM. Like there's just a distinct advantage where precision comes into play in those scenarios. Although you might say that if you have a stylus, that you might be able to rule out precision, because the stylus is a pretty precise instrument. If you're good with a stylus, that is, that takes time. Again,
everything's so tiny on the screen, though.
Yeah, that's true. That also comes down to what device you're using. Like, are we talking an iPad Pro, an iPad Air, a crappy Android tablet, or are we talking like an Asus Transform tablet? Are we talking a Surface Pro? Really depends on the resolution and the screen size. Like, sure, my LG V30, I'm not gonna go and do telos on. Somebody out there like Shawnee might be able to do telos on my LG V30. It's totally possible to do it. It's not gonna lag. It's got the specs. I just don't have the skills.
To be fair, you wouldn't be going out and doing telos on PC.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, is like, it's about the skills. It's also about like having the ability to have like controller hands. You really need to have like like a controller mind and controller hands. I don't know if that makes sense, but like having like that thumb mind, brain accuracy. Like, I don't have that because I don't hold controllers in my hand ever. I hold keyboards and mice. I have a WASD hand and I have a mouse hand. My brain does not associate those. I don't have like an established neural network in my brain, so it's a very clumsy association. I don't know if that makes sense, but your brain is a very plastic network, and if you don't have a skill in that area, you're going to be very clumsy at it, and you're not going to be very good at it initially. It's going to take practice, obviously, before you're going to be any good at it, and I am not willing to. That's what it all comes down to. Magebit is not willing to learn new things. Let's move along.
He's not willing to get good.
Yeah, not willing to get good. Shall we? Anyone else have anything? What have I been doing? Have I been doing anything? Just killing abyssal demons, making money.
Lots of abyssal demons.
Yeah, making money for our fabulous contest, which is our first PSA on the list. If you would like, you can still enter our contest. The achievement competition is underway. If you want to get into our Rune Score competition, you still can join in. It's open enrollment. The first check-in is on the 15th. The first check-in's optional. It's just to kind of help us gauge where people are in the rankings, so I can start bragging about where people are in the rankings on the show. If you've completed any super hard challenges, or you want to brag about the amount of points you've gained so far, I think one of our listeners has gained like over 500 points already. That's one number I've heard. So feel free to throw
on Killer Bunny.
That's not Killer Bunny. That number's not Killer Bunny.
No, I know, because he's been spending a lot of time down chasing the nymph down in the what's that? Where the dwarven caverns are, where the lava mine flow.
Not even close. This is Killer Bunny. Again, there is a list. I wanted to read out a list of a small list of achievements that are not. They're not doable in the time frame, I think, of the contest. So don't waste your time doing them. Basically, is what I'm saying. And they are Got Any More of That Dust, which is a drug reference, Jagex. Perfect Balance, The Richest Wyvern, and Unlocking Expertise. Don't worry about those challenges. Do them in your own time if you'd like, but they're not necessary for the competition. So yeah, you can still do them, like, you know, along with your other competitions, with your other unlocks, but you don't have to worry about them, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, along with that, that's all for the achievement competition. If you want to get in, over 150 million gold in prizes, 10 different prizes are being given away. You could be a part of that if you'd like. All you have to do is improve your rune score, improve your character, win prizes. All you got to do is PM me to enter. Let me know. You can ask Killer Bunny or Pyrnassius, and they'll get you in as well. All you got to do is let me know your current rune score, and then we'll get your rune score at the end. And whoever's improved the most is going to get prizes. You know, that's how we'll rank everybody. And there you go.
We need the rune score quick chatted in the clan.
Yep.
So that we know, you know, I mean, not that we don't trust you people, but we want to make sure that, you know,
yep,
you are doing what
you can also, like, that's best to do. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Best practice is just quick chat. You can also quick chat via private message. That works as well. Basically, any form of quick chat works to us. But yeah, we like it if you just hang out as a guest in the clan. Works the best. Anyway, what's Killer Bunny saying? I also brought up 2 more 6-minute Nomad. Okay. Due to the probability of about 1% of players being able to do it. Okay, good. Let me get that one. And there was one more I can't remember. Okay, he says. Well, I'll put that one on the list as well for now. Thank you for letting me know that, Killer Bunny. He's been our kind of our team leader.
Tester.
Yeah, he's been the team captain of this competition, so I really appreciate you doing this. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We got 21 people in the competition right now. And 10 prizes to give away. So, that's pretty cool.
And remember, if I get one of those prizes, you're the player behind me, you'll get that prize.
Yep. That's pretty cool. Pyrnassius is playing for charity. That's pretty nice of him. Not that he's playing what?
Just to get everyone else a chuckle, that little Asus G371 that I've got, which is only 3 years old, I thought, while I'm here, I'm just going to load up old school on it. It tells me it's not compatible for that one either.
Did you upgrade its I keep saying hardware. Software? Or did it not have an upgrade? It was not eligible for a software upgrade?
Actually, I'll have a look at that later.
Because
I thought I did for the last one when I tried to get RS3 on it. But,
some of them are just too old for software upgrades, but that's the first thing to check, is make sure you have it's eligible or not eligible. Because getting the latest version is the most important thing. Let's see, Mr. Thieves saying, I believe you can dart a phase of Nomad for the achievement, so that helps. That's good to know. And he's referring to Death Touch Dart, I believe. Anyway, we're still in PSAs. Let me keep going here. I'm lagging behind here. So PSA, there is also a complete guide to the mining and smithing rework. If you are completely just befuddled by what is going on and you want some clarity, I'm Sudi has just put together a beautiful document for you in the RuneScape Wiki. If you go to runescape.wiki /w/user:/Sudi/MS rework. I know that's nice and easy to go to. But if you just go to runescape.wiki and search for MS rework, you'll find it. There's a beautiful document that is completely outlined in a table, like a book, that will answer every single one of your questions about the mining and smithing rework. So if you are confused, now is the time to get into that document and check it out. And again, if there's a bunch of people out there that are confused, tweet at me, message me in game, let me know now. Because I need to know now, and I'll do one final special on it. But I need to know now, because like it's coming. The beta is upon us in like a week, right? It's like next week or something. I don't know. Also, there's a big Mac fix, I believe. Let me take a look at that. Oh wow! According to Pinnacle, Jagex Flame says this was a really convoluted issue to fix. There was apparently no clear cause when there was the issue reporting it. I'm really glad that you're back and enjoying the game. If you have any other issues, feel free to tag the problem. So what was the issue originally? Starting to lose...
They were just basically the main thing was that Telos, it was crashing all the time when people were trying to do Telos on a Mac. They reported about it, and then sort of someone said it's been 3 days and you haven't fixed it yet, and sort of carrying on. Yeah. This was about 3 or 4 weeks ago. We brought this up, and one of the mods jumped on and said, hey, we're looking into it. It's like it's not an easy fix that we're doing. So that's why I sort of wanted to throw this one in, just to let them know that hey, they were looking into it, and it's there.
And it has been fixed. They're not sure. I don't even know if they know what fixed it. But
Jagex Flame says down a bit further. He says, "I'm going to be writing up a short blog post soon that will cover a couple of the scenarios which was wrong with it. This will likely be one of them. In short, there was an issue in our animation system regarding the playing of certain animations at the time. This was being handled quite gracefully by Windows, but Mac and Linux weren't able to do the same thing, sadly, leading to a crash. The most important thing, though, was to take away that it wasn't always crashing, so reproducing it was trickier than it sounds. So it was crashing sometimes, not other times. So
Roger. Yeah,
those are the thing that Telos doesn't have like a streak mechanic where you lose everything upon death.
Yeah, thank goodness for that. That was never put in the game. A great idea.
Well, just don't do Telos on Mac. I mean, once you found out that there was a problem there, don't do it until they tell you that they fixed it.
Why don't you just throw out your Mac computer, you stupid fool?
Exactly.
I'm gonna try to do. I want to do 1K in Rage on mobile when mobile comes out. I think it'd be so fun.
I'm not doing any PvM on mobile probably ever. Like maybe Abyssal. I'm actually afraid to do Abyssal Demons on mobile. I'm honest. Say again?
You got to do it for the memes. It's not about You can't expect to get killed.
I have been doing this show for 9 years. You should know something about me. I have never done anything for the memes. I've never been popular. Clearly, I've never done anything for the memes. I do it for the love of the game. Well, let's talk about the first 9 HP to Prif here. So that's pretty impressive. Speaking of the love of the game, like that's friggin' impressive, right?
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's an impressive. All right, PvM, PvM expert. How do you do that? What's the secret behind that?
I don't know.
All right, you're fired then.
You do the boss fights. I'm guessing you just like have to do Ring of Recoils or something. Like I don't know actually. Because you would just like die instantly.
Yeah, because you'd have to like save spot or something and like
yeah. There must be some sort of save spot. But then you can't gain XP because you would gain when you kill the boss you gain XP. Or did they remove?
I think you get lamps now.
XP from
I think all quest bosses. I think all quest stuffs. Like that's the scientific word for it. Give lamps now, but I can't say that for 100% sure.
Gotcha. I have a question. Was this before or after the quest point shop?
What?
Looks like it was after. Do you think that maybe they used the new gear or something?
I think that would have helped.
Yeah, that would have helped. Yeah, no, that's true. That would have helped. Maybe that was it then. That is interesting. That is a possibility for sure. Because I've sold 9 HP malls at Virago, and they just like stand in a corner and we intercept them 24/7. So you just have a person, basically you just have a team that does the kill like normal, right? And then you just have one person on the team with a mammoth or a yak just in charge of intercepting the buyer. No second can go by without an intercept. You just intercept them constantly the entire time. So I've sold a lot of 9 HP models, but I'm wondering, like, does everyone here know how, or do you think all the listeners know how 9 HP is a thing? So I think the origin of 9 HP is kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's a RuneScape Classic thing, right? Back to the the mage selection.
So in Classic, everyone started out with 1,000 hit points, but technically to be 10 HP, you need to have 1,154 XP. Or sorry, everyone started with 10 hit points, but 1,000 XP. But in order to be 10 HP in RuneScape 2, you needed 1,154 XP. So whenever an account got ported over that had less than 1,154 XP, they were reset to 9 HP. So the only way to have a 9 HP account is if you made an account in Classic and never trained combat on it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So it has to be an account that's very old, but also of that set of very old accounts, it had to be skilling peers, or just like people who made an account and didn't ever play it or something.
Yeah. I that's the only thing I remember specifically about 9 HP pures it's specifically a glitch from Classic, and
right.
I thought it had to do with if you selected from the character screen, because there was another way to get your stats different as well in RuneScape Classic. If you selected like there was a fighter, mage, and was it a miner, I believe, and if you chose mage, your magic was higher but your HP was lower.
Interesting.
Which also gave you lower HP. But that was taken out of the game pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So that wasn't an option for very long. RuneScape Classic was a weird time.
That does sound weird.
I miss RuneScape Classic. It's gone now. Like that, like even in RuneScape Classic, that wasn't even a thing for very long. Like that was part of like the beta part of RuneScape Classic. That's like part of when they were it's weird to think about, but like RuneScape Classic had a beta. I was part of the beta of RuneScape Classic. That's like a really weird thing to think about. But yeah, when I first played RuneScape Classic, there was the word beta underneath it, but it was really kind of surreal to think back to that memory. Oh, sorry, I have a prospective clan member who wants to join.
Sure. So January 2001, is that when it came out?
Yeah, and I joined in like May or something. Like I joined basically on summer vacation because I was bored.
I was 6 years old.
I
was 5. I was 5.5.
I was 12. I had just moved. I had no friends in the new city I just moved to, and I found RuneScape, and the love affair began. Anyway,
beautiful.
Pern, I'm sure you did it once. If you wouldn't mind doing it again, could you do me a favor and just read the Achievement Bonanza portion while I go ahead and help this prospective clanmate join the clan? Free-to-play members can join the clan, right? They just can't use the Citadel?
Yeah.
Okay,
yep.
Okay, I'm going to help.
Yeah, we're open to anyone, basically. Okay. So, Achievement Bonanza. This is one that's very near and dear to our hearts. So, things are about to heat up on the RuneScore high score tables. A while back, we asked you for your ideas for achievements you'd like to see in the game. We were hoping to put together 100 or so, but we've actually ended up with over 130, spread across a wide assortment of skills. Well over half of these are based off your suggestions, so thanks ever so much to everyone who helped deluge us with so many wonderful ideas. The achievements range from the tough to the ridiculous. A few examples include Handles for Forks, attempt to buy 4 candles. Cops and Robbers, unlock all the perks in Heist. Lifesaver, be saved 50 times by the Sign of Life effect. You want a piece of me? Sample all of the listed pizzas. The new achievements are visible from the achievements tab, so enjoy. Yeah, there's some really good ones in there. I mean, things like the lifesaver, be saved by 50 times by the sign of life effect. You know, those type of ones where you have to just go out and deliberately die to things I don't find as real good achievements. But hey, they're there. It just, as I said, it always just sort of stuns me that they'll put something like that in there, but they won't give you any points for unlocking golden pets or unlocking the full breeding log on
hopefully in
the
time.
different animals and farms. So yeah,
hopefully in time.
Farming is a reward in of itself.
I don't disagree with that ever. All right, I'm gonna tell you something that is kind of silly. It's more of a, I don't even know. It's kind of like rooted in nostalgia, but not maybe I don't know. It's a cousin of nostalgia. But like I go to the farm and I'm doing farm things and I'm like, this is all I've ever wanted. Every time I do the farm, I'm like I'm picking up poop and I'm checking animals and I'm just walking around, running around the farm and I'm just like, I love this. I'm so happy right now. And why? I don't know why.
Because it's enjoyable, it's interactive. You're having fun. It's something different. What animal's going to be there this time round? Have they bred? It is fun.
You sound like me at Virago, Mage.
Really?
What I just want to point out, though, there is some really nice dungeoneering ones that I think we all should get on Mage. Since he's doing dungeoneering to 120, we should all get on his back to complete. And one of them is the Home of Demons. You need to beat every boss in Demonheim and to fully upgrade your Ring of Kinship.
I can probably do that eventually. I mean, what boss haven't I defeated? I've killed Blink.
Oh, you got Blink done, didn't you?
I killed him. I killed him. I killed the mother effer.
What day did you beat him, though? Did you beat him after Monday?
Because
you have to go back and do it all again.
I can do it again. I have faith.
Because I had a look at mine because I've completed and obviously I've done them all.
I can do Blink for you if you want. There's a pattern that he runs.
Yeah, I just stood there and beat the crap out of him with a pillar, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's disappointing. I mean, it's not disappointing because like I got to do dungeoneering. I got to finish it anyway. But you know.
Another one. So I'm just having another one is kill Blink in a solo dungeoneering instance without dying.
Kill what?
Ooh, that's a lot harder.
Kill Blink in a solo dungeoneering instance without dying.
That's
worth 40 points.
Not possible for me yet. I mean, maybe someday after I learn how to like maybe do like Araxi, I could do that.
I've only beaten him once without dying, so why isn't that ticked off for me already?
There's a way to do it. If you like watch a guide on YouTube a few times and just like watch how they do it, it's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I can do it.
But if you go in there just like blind or whatever, then yeah,
all right, there we go. I just have to join this individual, and I'm gonna quickly just invite them to our clan. They're new. They haven't played. They're not new. They haven't played. The last time they played was before clans were in the game, so they're give them a break. They're
a RuneScape 3 member coming back. That's fine.
Yeah,
we love you.
Yeah, I'm gonna just put a trail to them so I can find them.
That's a rare.
Exactly.
I'm so sad. All my PvM friends play OSRS now. I'm like, come back. And they're like, dude, we're making over 100 mil an hour RS3 doing this. So my person who owns our friends chat for selling leeches just created a version of it in old school and is now selling Theater of Blood leeches, which I think is hilarious because that's like pinnacle of difficulty in OSRS. RS3 PVMers go over there for like 3 weeks and now they're literally selling it selling leeches for it. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
I don't understand how that could be over 100 mil an hour when it's that easy to do.
I don't know. Probably. Actually, I do know. Because people like me. People like me hate stuff like that, and can make money fairly easy because of Abbey Demons and stuff like that. And are willing to just throw away our money because we're either afraid or anything. I don't know. There's tons of reasons why. But,
yeah.
I'll be back in just a moment.
Yeah, no problem. I will continue onwards to the next article here. So that will pause me for what I'm doing with Derp. But anyway, Old School RuneScape has become the top app in several countries within 24 hours of its release. This article is from mcvuk.com. Clocking up over 1 million downloads, the mobile game hit the top spot in the US, Canada, Australia, Netherlands, and key Nordic countries, and reached the top 10, 15 countries overall. This sees 1 million new players on top, 1 million plus already playing the old school MMO when its soft launch on Android, taking RuneScape to its highest ever daily average user figure in 5 years. Old School RuneScape is available for iOS devices running 10.0 or above, excuse me, and Android 5.0 or above, and features adventurers for solo play, 100 player strong raids that 100 player strong raids. Is this game? All right, they're high as hell. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. That promise to take the game far beyond. Oh, I guess they're talking about old school RuneScape. Derp, is this true? 100 player strong raids, is this true?
I mean, people solo them, so
Yeah,
not really.
Scale. Yeah,
it's scalable.
You could bring 100. You could bring 100 people in there if you wanted to. It's like Virago. Virago, technically, you could bring 50 people in, but no one ever would.
Gotcha. Okay, but no one ever does. Okay, old school RuneScape, strong raids, far beyond the purely nostalgic vanilla experience. After 5 years of successful growth since its PC launch in 2013, the arrival of Old School RuneScape on mobile is a hugely important milestone for Jagex in taking the RuneScape franchise multi-format, said Jagex CEO Phil Mansell. Making our living games format to our players on mobile devices was a priority for us. We set out in the third age of Jagex. Over the years, our players have grown up, and some of us who are PC players now have alternate format preferences that fit their changed lifestyles. Now we have delivered Old School RuneScape in its entirety on mobile, offering the game as a second screen experience. By providing games with a new way to access Old School RuneScape, we have welcomed millions of new returning players into this amazing game. The arrival of Old School RuneScape on mobile and our ongoing work into bringing RuneScape to mobile is a testament to our investment in the continued growth to our titles and building our vision for living games. Jagex asserts that Old School RuneScape is the first mobile mainstream PC game to transfer its monthly membership offering to mobile, like other subscription-based mobile entertainment apps such as Netflix and Spotify. We believe that there is a huge opportunity to bring new business models to mobile with subscription-based gaming, Mansell added, by capitalizing on the popularity of RuneScape's franchises and players' familiarity with monthly membership. Little alliteration there that I can't handle, apparently. We can have a standard bearer for the adoption of subscription-based gaming in the mobile space, and our RuneScape titles can lead the charge. The RuneScape franchise has brought in almost $1 billion since its launch in 2001. So so thoughts on that?
I'm not sure if Pern is back yet, but I'm like, I'm a big fan of the mobile conspiracy in terms of OSRS versus RS3, sort of. Not really, but I do think that it is pretty remarkable to have that much success.
It does.
I mean, I certainly thought it would. Like, I know Hannah would always talk about how mobile is the biggest computing platform in the world by far, and I think she's absolutely right that this is a game changer for RuneScape. Although I wish that OSRS didn't have such a head start, because I really feel like that momentum is going to be hard to break. Because I just don't see, assuming there are new players who are coming on to the game, I just don't see why they would quit OSRS for RS3 when RS3 comes out.
Well, good.
No, I was just say, I think you have one chance to really get that initial hype going, and I think it's all been spent on OSRS.
And it did work, like 100%.
Yeah, certainly worked.
Well,
for
1 million
OSRS.
downloads. That's
And I mean, you don't think that RuneScape 3 could get 1 million downloads? You don't think the curiosity factor will carry on? I think humans are curious creatures, and I think that they will download RuneScape 3 just as much as they downloaded old school RuneScape. I can't guarantee they're going to stick around.
I would hope so, but
I hope you're right.
But I think they'll download it just the same.
I hope so, but I don't. I mean, I don't see that initial hype being as strong. And we've seen, a lot of people coming back and they're saying, "Hang on, I've had an account. Why can't I log into my account?" Because old school obviously is a different game. It is not proper RuneScape. RuneScape 3 is the the long-term RuneScape game there, and that's where all their accounts are. And we've seen there's been several complaints of players about that, but they've gone, okay, they've made a new account, they're there playing it now, and I just I don't know. I really do think obviously, OSRS being a lot easier to produce on mobile, being graphics, being the programming and such, compared to what we have being the way their whole interface works. It is probably a game that works well on on mobile. RS3 is going to be a lot more difficult to play on mobile, on a phone type system. Yes, on a tablet, I don't think there's going to be a big difference, but if people are just pulling out their phone on the train or whatever,
phone is AFK mode as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, exactly. I really do think sort of OSRS is better suited to that platform, and I just as I said, it's funny to see our monthly membership be the standard bare adoption of subscription-based gaming. They're still pumping out all their MTX onto this game, which brings in a hell of a lot of money for them, that allows them to do all this type of stuff.
I don't think they're going to have a problem with a monthly subscription model, because there are tons of monthly subscription models.
Yeah, that's right. But I still also think that they will, within 2 years, I would say, even though they keep saying there won't be, my thoughts are, and I'll stick by it, that within 2 years, I would say you'll have MTX over on OSRS.
But that would just destroy the game. The player base would die.
But if you've just brought in 100,000 players,
here's the thing.
You might as well shut the game. You might as well shut the game down.
If the player base doesn't continue to grow, then I think they have to put microtransactions into the game. If the player base stays at 120K and just stagnates, then yes, you have to put in microtransactions, because they're not making more money.
If it stays at 120,000 and that 120,000 memberships, yes. As I said, I went on the other day and had a look. There was 97,000 players on, and virtually half of them were free to play. That's the thing. You can't have free to play not bringing money in. And,
why aren't those free to play players buying bonds? What are those free to play players doing? Right? Yeah,
and that's what we're saying. Within,
be fair, it's like a lot of people are probably still in trial mode, right? It's been out for less than
I know. Again, we can't.
A lot of people. Go ahead, a lot of people are probably not finished with the free to play content, but I'm guessing that many of those accounts will become members, within a couple months, or they'll stop playing. It'll be one or the other. Either you'll quit or because you run out of stuff to do on free to play.
I'll say it again, but we really can't assess this until the end of December. It's not fair to say that all these accounts are free to play, because damn it, I'd probably be, if this was a game I'd never played before, I'd be free to play. Probably.
Of course.
And I'm a little impulsive. I'd probably be paid to play with them.
If they are buying bonds, and buying memberships that way, then great, because that's still bringing money into the game. There are ways to do it. You can stay free to play. I mean, you can not put money in because someone else is buying those bonds that you can buy with the gold in game and such. That's still successful, because that's still bringing money in. But you need to be converting. Within 30 to 60 days, you need to be converting those free to play players into paying members.
Yeah, no,
And if not,
I
you have to work out some other way to monetize them.
I agree. I agree that you need to be able to turn those payers, you need to turn those players into payers. It's a thing that needs to be done at some point in time. You can't have a business that, you know, people just walk in, enjoy your product, and you get nothing for it. That's not a business. That's I don't know what that is, but yeah,
a charity.
Yeah, that's a charity.
A retail store that only does free samples. You're like, can I buy this? No, only free samples only.
So, like, I understand that as a concept, like they need to survive, but at the same time, we need to find a model that also doesn't make the game unfair for the players or seem like, you know, it doesn't break the mechanics of the game, right? So you have to. There's a balance,
and that's great. And if it does, you know, if they get those people over there, that's great. And you know, something I've been calling for a long time is now splitting the 2 game memberships up. You know, drop each game. Yeah. Yeah, was it $10 a month now? Drop it to $8 a month per game. You can have both games for, you know, $14 a month. And if you get a Premier Club, you know, if you get the 12-month gold membership,
imagine,
you know, bring out that new platinum one, you can get both games, but you know, split it and let's see, and you know, and
back
show
in the day,
the money that both games are
back
making.
In the day, a yearly membership to like a game service used to be like $200 like a year. Like sometimes it was even like $3.99. Yeah, like,
yeah, exactly.
Like gamers don't even know. Like, so like back even before my time, it was like $3.99 a minute to play some game. Before my time, like
dial up modems.
Yeah, like before. Yeah, go ahead.
I'd be scared of that though, Pern, because I think that the OSRS subscription numbers would be so much higher that would
that's
further.
Great.
I mean, is it though? Like, it looks pretty bad for RS3 because at that point, like, I guess microtransactions is still bringing in a lot of money, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, I think 40% of the revenue was brought in by microtransactions.
I mean, it definitely would bring in a lot of money. It's just how many players would you lose versus how much money would you bring in. I still think it would be a positive value but you know, it would hurt the brand name as well. Like, you know, you gotta weigh all the factors as well. There's more.
Yeah, that'd be my point, Mage. I agree with. That's kind of what I was thinking.
There's more than just money involved. Is what I'm trying to say here. You're hurting your brand. You're devaluing yourself as a company. You're hurting yourself in the industry. You're basically knocking yourself down a peg as far as respect goes amongst other companies in the industry. Like there's definitely multiple layers that are to be considered. Now, when you're a big fancy CEO sitting at a desk making 6 figures, you may not care about those little things, but you know, when you're Mr. Gamer sitting behind, you know, a nice hardwood desk, you do care about those little things.
But well, let's look at this new unnamed MMO that bringing out and such. Is that going to be included now free as well, or are they going to start charging for that? That's what I mean. This may be, you know, when that comes out, it may be the time to start, you know, looking at that type of thing in monetizing each game on its own merits.
When do you think that new MMO is even going to come out?
I don't know, but I don't like it.
I thought they were going to announce it at Runefest, and they didn't.
Yeah. Like I'm starting to get skeptical at this point, but I'm sorry, I'm just getting a little salty. What's up? All right.
Well, that's why we haven't had Mod Mark around for ages, because he's working on it, and even the last month ahead was done by Shawnee, not by Mod Mark.
Yeah, I didn't mind that too much, but
oh no, I love that. I mean, Shawnee's great. I love Shawnee, but it's just it just sort of got me that, you know, like Mod Mark has always done that.
Yeah,
it was just weird not to have him there.
Yeah, it kind of felt like Mod Mark Jr. a little bit to me. Like it was like, oh, Shawnee's, Shawnee's growing up. Mod Mark's kind of, Mod Mark's
his son. Yeah,
moving on. He's getting old. But all right, let me move along here. This is another. We're still in the OSRS territory in their glory, but this is kind of, we're still talking about the troubles that we could run into here. I think here. This is by Exodus SVK, and it says, "I'm genuinely happy about the success of OSRS Mobile, but I'm very surprised to what extent it makes my heart drop when I visit their sub to see newbies enjoying mobile experience and memes, of course, and see all the, quote, remove RuneScape 3 petitions and just general disdain and toxicity channeled and hate towards our game. I might just be sensitive. Sensitive? Is that a word?
Sensitive? He meant sensitive.
Yeah, that is Sentinel. Is that your Sentinel? Okay. Yeah, I think he meant sensitive. But I did grow up playing RuneScape. It started in 06, and I just adjusted and quit EOC. But I came back to continue playing in my RuneScape 3 account since I simply wasn't willing to start over and didn't mind the MTX since I strayed from purposely using them to advance, which, you know, that's the big argument, of course, is can you
use them?
Yeah, just don't use them, right? I don't want to get into my over a decade-long story in this game, but God, somehow it's still an enjoyable ride despite all of the MTX drama. Lack of inadequacies and many updates, I'm always able to find my enjoyment in this game just when I realized, as a 14-year-old boy, that I can safe spot Minotaurs as a stronghold of security for mad range gains in the internet cafe waiting to get on the bus home. See, I love this kid because
oh my goodness,
that's how I felt. But see, that's exactly how I felt when I figured out I could put a cannon down in the flesh crawler area, and I got from like 24, no, I got like 40 something range to like 80 something range as I was listening to Science Fridays with Ira Flato. Like, I was so happy, because I hate range, and like everyone hated me, but that's how I got like my collection of fire runes. That's the first time I ever had over 100,000 fire runes, was because of that room. Igor. Elgor, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate that very much. Anyway, I never bashed, criticized, flamed, and petitioned against the reborn version of the game as I played as a kid. And it's the same kid now who wears a trimmed comp cape and loves to hunt achievements and PvM with friends in RuneScape 3. Therefore, it saddens me to see how viscerally negative old-school RuneScape players are towards us for making a different choice, sticking with it, and enjoying it for the most part. I've always loved this game, and I will always will for it and everything it has given me over the years. I believe there are good things on the horizon for both of its versions, and I felt elated for Jagex when it opened up old-school RuneScape to the world, and people were unhappy with RuneScape 3's experience to find purpose and joy in starting fresh and rising to the top. Now, in their fantastic upsurge, we're left in ridicule and minority. According to their posts, our version of the game doesn't deserve to be respected, maintained, or played, and shouldn't be left, and it should just be left to die. I, for one, am not going anywhere. I sincerely hope that in the future I get my kids hooked on whichever version of RuneScape they'll like, and I hope that both games will be around. I'll give them the choice. It sounds like a religion at this point, doesn't it? Like, they can pick whatever religion. Yeah, like they can be Catholic, they can be Christian, they can be Unitarian. It doesn't matter what they want to be. Like, you can pick whatever religion you want. Like, this is... like, but seriously, again, I shouldn't have brought religion into this at all. That's a horrible idea. But point being, I agree with them. I'm not going anywhere either. Like, RuneScape 3, yes, it's seeing its lowest numbers, in history, but that's because everyone is really curious about the launch of OSRS Mobile. That's normal. That's absolutely normal. People are curious. That's okay. You know? Only 20.
And the beauty.
Mm-hmm.
And the beauty of it is having that dual sort of membership where you can just take your account, go over and have a look at it. You don't have to spend any more money. So that's why we have seen that sort of 15,000 plus players move off this game for a few weeks. And, you know, that's fine. And I mean, I make a lot of jokes about old school, but I wish them the very best. I want to see it succeed because success on those games means more money for the company, which means more investment, which means that both games are going to survive.
Think of it this way. First of all, if 15,000 people are down, more spots at the top of the Abbey Demon Tower. And also, think of how long it took them to shut down old school RuneScape. We got plenty of time. Continue, Pern.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, and OSRS. I mean, remember at the time, and one thing I always said when they, it had to hit that 500,000. It didn't make it. It made the 530, but they still released it. We were still all happy for those people. They weren't going to get updates, and then all of a sudden, because people wanted to keep it that way, and that's what they voted on. Then all of a sudden, oh no, we're getting bored. We want updates and such, and they got it. And it's a grown game, and it's gone from 07scape to old school RuneScape, where it's got its own thriving community, where it's got its own.
They found their own identity. That's right. They had to find themselves, and they did. They found themselves, and that's good.
But it is that toxicity, and that's sort of one of the reasons why I crack my jokes and sort of laugh at it all the time, because of that pure hatred that they seem to show. And what they don't understand is their game would never have grown if it wasn't for this.
Well, Pern, exactly. I mean, say that again. Their game would never have grown if it wasn't for RS3. They are insecure. I mean, stop right there. They're insecure, and that's exactly why they have hatred for us. It breeds from insecurity. But it's psychology, Pern. That's where the hatred comes from. They're just insecure. There's no need to breed hatred back to them, though. That's the thing. It's just insecurity because they're afraid that their game is going to fail because they literally came from us, and they don't know if they're going to succeed or not. Go ahead.
If they're going to list the 15 inches. No, but I'm just saying, I mean, I don't think it's insecurity. I just think it is. I mean, they're very stuck in their ways. That was the game they loved. They didn't like any changes. They're the same type of people who would never have bought a car back in the 1930s when they first come out. They would have stuck to their horse and cart because they just don't like changes and things like that. This is the way I've always done it. This is what I want. I don't want this.
I'm not going to liberal versus conservative thinking.
I'm staying over down here. Yeah, that's right. It's like, but that's the thing. But the thing is, it was the MTX from this game that allowed them to grow, and as much as we all, I
agree on.
Perfect world, we wouldn't have MTX in there. But hey, that's the way it is. That's what makes money. That's what allows both games to keep growing and developing. They've gone from 3 mods, which were only supposed to ever be there just to maintain security and such in the game and make sure there was no crashes, to 24 mods. They've got 24 of their own mods. They also that's just developers on the game. That's not including all the community side of things that both games obviously share. They have 3 on their mobile team. It has become a very great game, but still, the majority of developers and artists still work on this game and such. And by calling out this hatred and such, and the abuse I see sometimes, on the live streams where the RS3. The old school players come over onto the RS3 and just sit there and just spam all that hatred and all that type of stuff towards the mods, towards the developers. I just don't understand it. You go and watch one of theirs, there's no RS3 players over there calling for them all to die and lose their jobs and quit the game and all that type of stuff. They are both. They're 2 totally different games now. They've developed in their own way, and that's great. But let's. In this that as he says, the viscerally negativistic OSRS players towards us is really bad, and it is. I mean, we say it as a bit of a joke and such, but and I'm sure some of them over that side sort of joke around and such as well. But there is a large majority over there that are very much that way. Very negative, very vocal, and very feral against anything that's not their game.
I like that, feral. Yeah, they become very feral, like it's mine. Anyway, let us. I think there was one final.
Because Derpdragon plays over there, and he's in that community, and I'd love to hear.
Derpdragon has. I mean, he's like an armadillo.
From RS3.
Yeah, go ahead.
But coming from RS3, how did he find it when he went over there? Did he cop any backlash from people? Has he seen that type of negativity over there towards us?
The funny thing is, my very first interaction going back to old school was the very first person I saw. I was doing Slayer in my cheap rune gear or whatever. And this guy strikes up a conversation with me and offers to buy me an Abyssal Whip and Dragon Plate Legs and Dragon Boots and like a fury and stuff. Like that's my first
That's
interaction.
fantastic. Yeah.
So that like restored my faith in the old school community. Since then,
And then you got lured and hacked someone, and then they raided your house with the FBI. And no, I'm just joking. I'm sorry.
It's been degraded back down to a reasonable standard, but.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Have you?
I remember when I first started over there, I was burning logs and collecting ashes, and I had a guy come up and just hand me a million GP. He said, "Yeah, listen, go out, get yourself what you need and such." I said, "Thank you very much." He was great, but he was like 1 in a million because everyone else I saw was abusive, was toxic.
Yeah,
you tell him you come from RS3, you're trying it out, and the hate I got over there, I just ended up turning chat off over there.
Yeah, well, yeah. You tell them you're trying the game from the and then you're coming from Runescape 3, and they treat you like crap, and it's like, but I'm trying your game. Like I wanna try, and it's like, why do you want to hate me for trying? Like, yeah, it's silly. I don't know. Some people just like to give you crap for just because they like to give you crap. Anyway,
I think David had something.
The high-level PvMers I've talked to said that OSRS PvM community is a lot less toxic than the RS3 one in terms of like elitism. Like RS3 PvM has become so incredibly elitist because everything is so perfectible here, whereas it's a lot less perfectible in old school. So like people are more forgiving.
Harder in RS3, in my opinion.
I was gonna say, isn't it way more intense?
The skill ceiling, the skill ceiling is a lot higher.
Right.
You make a mistake,
people in RS3 are far more elitist because there's so much more upside for being good.
Yeah, for sure.
Or like, it's possible to get way better at RS3 PvM than it is at old school PvM. Because like old school PvM is just like getting your clicks on point. Like that's also true for RS3. Plus you have the whole ability system, defensives, etc.
Right then. Okay, so finally here's I hope that one day a game created in pursuit of connecting the world and people together won't be a place that divides us, but a place where we can respect, love, and appreciate the things that connect us. I was hoping the top comment would just be like, eat shit and die, but luckily it's not.
Or maybe the OSRS community wasn't overreading it. Sorry.
It's okay.
I had to.
The top comment actually has 58 points. He says, I'm an old school RuneScape player, but I'm subbed here because I like to keep up with the progression of RuneScape 3 and its community. RuneScape 3 isn't for me play-wise, but I'd never put down someone for choosing to spend their time how they see fit. Which is, I think is... yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and that's probably the way a lot of them do feel over there. And we have the same thing. It is that vocal minority, the ones who make the most noise, that we see all the time.
Yeah.
And they're the ones we sort of judge them all on. And, there's probably some very nice people over there. And, and probably the majority of them are great people over there. It's just that vocal minority that we see are the dickheads that, just stuff everything up for us.
Faux show. Right on. Would you like to grab the next one for me? It's a pretty short one.
Quit OSRS for RS3, and this is by Miran Panda. I decided to start a level 3 on RS3 and haven't stopped playing. OSRS felt like cookie clicker for a long time, but RS3 feels like a real video game. Also, the graphics are insane. The sky changes from night and day like what the F? This is honestly the best version of RS I've ever played. I don't know why the player base is low in comparison to OSRS, but this game is way more enjoyable, and it's had 306 upvotes. 307 now.
Well then. So that's...
I'm just having a look down. It doesn't look like there is... it was just someone saying about the MTX. But there doesn't seem to be a lot of negative points on it, so yeah.
That's the thing, is like, if you are new to RuneScape and I don't know, you've never seen video games before, or like you've played RuneScape old school first, like RuneScape 3 in comparison, I think is like a beautiful experience. That's the thing, is like, in comparison, I feel like, my feeling personally, I feel like RuneScape 3 is the superior game, but apparently I am mistaken. I don't know. I feel like, go ahead.
No, I'm exactly the same. I mean, the graphics and the combat on here is what keeps me hanging around and playing the game. It feels like an actual game.
To
doesn't
me,
feel like a...
I feel like a lot of what old school RuneScape has, as far as its X factor, is nostalgia. Like it's the mini clip era factor. Anyway, I will continue on.
But still, nostalgia can only go so far.
Exactly.
I mean, I can pull out my old Atari 2600 or my Commodore 64, and I play a couple of hours. But
think about it. What are they releasing now? Like, they are always playing on nostalgia. Like they're releasing Pokemon Tamagotchis now. It's like, for God's sakes.
And we just had advertised here the what was the original not Game Boy, but I think it was the Nintendo. What was the original boxes that they had out?
They've done Segas, they've done Nintendos, they've done all of the little systems.
I can't remember which one it was, but just advertised here, one of those old games, and it's got 100 games pre-built into it. You just buy it. It's $149. It's exactly the same as what we used to have, but it plugs in through the AV, not through the old antenna cable we used to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's got all these old games, but I was watching a demo on it, looking at the graphics and going,
they're garbage.
My God, I used to love. I spent hours and hours as a kid playing that. How the hell did I play that?
I know, right? It's it's amazing what our minds are capable as a kid. All right, David, get ready. I'm gonna read you into this recent Rune Pouch update, and you're gonna tell me why it's awesome. Because I went and got myself one because it saved me one inventory space. Anyway,
I'll shut up until David's had his say too.
Yeah, and then you can have everyone can have their say. I have really nothing to say, but I will have a lot to say because there are a lot of words in front of me here. Anyway, so here we go. Recent Rune Pouch update. I think the general consensus from Reddit, for once, is that this update is fine, largely a quality of life buff, and most people aren't happy about Jagex reverting it. One thing I haven't seen mentioned is how that it saves slots for all styles. This is largely because most places you would use spellbook swaps for mage, you would also use spellbook swaps for other styles, even if these places are incredibly rare because of how niche wanting to use the multiple book swaps are. This is my updated hard mode Virago base preset, which lets me use Shield, Dome, Spellbook Swap, Disrupt, and Intercept. Before this update, I would still bring all these runes, just bring one less dummy, one less soup, and less brew, which doesn't really matter. They provide another image. This is my new Telos preset after the update, which lets me cast Vulnerability, Disrupt, Spellbook Swap, and Shield Dome. If I wanted to use a small pouch, like I did with Melee, instead of third large, I could just remove the Chaos runes, which I bring for safety if I miss-swap to normals. I cast Vulnerability and Lunars with Borrowed Power. Before the update, you could normally, comfortably bring Spellbook Swap, etc. with a Yak and a Nile, and you'd lose 3 extra slots from your inventory. But for most people, using Spellbook Swap and a Nile isn't that big of a deal. The nice thing about this update does help is that 1,000 plus streaking with Nile and the Spellbook Swap, obviously it makes you feel more comfortable having those 3 extra slots, but if you're not on a streak, you don't feel that pressure. For the most part, as well as no one ever bothers using Spellbook Swap before 1K+, before the update, what I think might happen if the update stays is people bring Spellbook Swaps to the 800+ instead of camping normals, because Spellbook Swap is too much effort before then and not really needed. As far as I'm aware, these are the only places this update affects, and as far as I can see, this is pretty minor. The main one sticking out to me is streaking 1K+ with Nile, but that affects very few players. Most Yak and most don't go 1K plus at all. And to be honest, I don't think many players use Spellbook Swap anyway, aside from most who do a lot of Virago and a few Telossers. I think that the issue that Jagex has is not with the extra pouches, but the Spellbook Swap itself, which fair enough if they remove the spell, but if it's, let me just start that. Which, fair enough if they want to remove that spell, but it'd be incredibly tragic if they did, because it's a ton of fun to use, and the meta at Telos and Rago has developed heavily based upon it. Overall, just wanted to make a post because I feel like a lot of people are misinformed about Spellbook Swap, thinking it's widely used everywhere, or will be as a result of this, or thinking that magic is the only style that benefits melee and range, can get even crazier if you bring vengeance, etc. Thinking this was just a knee-jerk reaction from Jagex who don't really understand where Spellbook Swap is used and why, and most of the community seems in favor of it. So, just really surreal to see. I really hope the pouch stays, and maybe it encourages more people to try out Spellbook Swaps at places that we already used it. Think there's a reason to just... did I skip a sentence there? Sorry. Where it's already used, like High Virago and Telos. If they really wanted to nerf it, however, try and keep the small pouch relevant. Like, really think there's a reason to just remove the small pouch from the game with this update and leave it as dead content. You could just cap large small pouches at 2 inventories, which would force majors to drop the Chaos Runes and use Borrowed Power, or use an extra slot to maintain that safety for if you miscast Spellbook Swap to normal, pardon me, and it would leave Spellbook Swap unchanged for melee and ranged, and use 2 larges and a and small pouch anyways. Oh, there was a TLDR. That could have saved me all that time. Anyway, David, would you like to...
Yeah, so basically, Spellbook Swap is primarily used at 2 bosses, just like this person says, Virago and Telos. It's only used at Telos above 1k in Rage, because 1k in Rage is where most people like to be able to freeze minions, since you need to be able to font them typically. Obviously, there are examples of people not having to do this, but that is the typical thing. For people who don't know, Spellbook Swap works on the Ancient Spellbook and allows you to swap spellbooks to cast 1 spell. The 2 spells most commonly cast are Vulnerability, which is 10% increased damage, and Disruption Shield, which is in the meta at Virago specifically because it blocks pushback on phase 5, or in hard mode, block pushback on phase 10 and 11. So basically, the runes that I was bringing for Virago were I would bring Astral, Cosmic, Chaos, Soul, Body, Dust, Blood, Water, Fire, Air. Or no, Water and Fire, not Air, because Dust counts as air runes. So I bring 10 runes whenever I use magic. So to properly do Virago, you bring 10 runes. The rune pouch obviously saves you, at the very least, 2 inventory spaces, or could save you 3 inventory spaces, depending. If you use Steam instead, because you could swap Steam for the Fire Water. It's just more expensive. And it definitely, so in normal mode, I would say the typical person who is using Spellbook Swap and is in the meta or whatever, uses no food or like very little food in normal mode. So it actually barely affects normal mode kills at all. All it does is make it so that you don't have to constantly be changing presets. So it basically is more or less the original intention, because like the extra 2 inventory slots like do not make a difference at normal mode. Like if you're using food at normal mode, then you're like still learning the boss. And then at hard mode, where you do use some food in smaller teams, it allows you to, as this person says, all I did was I didn't add food to my preset because I don't really use food for any PvM in this game. I just added 2 dummies to my preset, and the dummies help increase kill speed. So I don't know. I think it's like generally a very nice update. It's certainly solved the quality of life thing.
For a second, can you talk about the dummies for a second? Is that just to keep up your adrenaline? Keeping up?
Yeah. So between phases, as Virago is jumping around, I don't remember. You remember how Virago like jumps around to break the platform to go down?
Yeah.
So basically, let's say like after you finish a phase, you're 50% adrenaline. You drop a dummy, and then you build adrenaline so that you start the next. So you start every phase at 100% adrenaline.
Gotcha.
So then you're able to sunshine or berserk every single phase start. That you're never not doing a ultimate ability.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool.
Yeah, so dummies kind of changed the meta hugely at Virago. Kill speeds have gotten much faster.
That's cool. That's really cool. Continue. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're fine. You're no problem at all. So the other thing is that this makes Magescape better is not true, because if you're meleeing, just as the post says, or ranging at either of these two places, Virago, High Enraged Telos. I'm not sure why you would High Enraged Telos besides Magic, but that's more of a problem with Magic being powerful, not a problem with rune pouches. But you would always bring Spellbook Swap anyways for those places for Disruption Shield and Intercept. So it's incredibly niche because it's just like Telos 1K Plus and hard mode Virago small teams sizes that it affects. And it's not like it's used everywhere, and it certainly is also helpful for range and melee. Particular melee, because melee has so many different styles. The only time it would become particularly useful is if a new boss came out where hybriding was common. So I don't know how much you've been following up with, or listeners know about the Solak meta, but basically it's expected now that you bring a full melee switch for Solak, because you should be constantly switching between Sunshine and Berserk, so you're always ultied in order to maintain kill speeds as fast as possible. Solak, you don't need Intercept or Disruption Shield. Everyone just uses the normal spellbook. But if they brought a boss with complex mechanics enough to require Disruption Shield and Intercept, and it was also expected to bring a melee switch, then this could have like a real impact. I think the upside to this is that many people who are not comfortable bringing Spellbook Swap because they're worried they'll run out of food now have an opportunity to learn Spellbook Swap without feeling like they are going to run out of food, because now they have an extra 3 inventory slots. So like the +3 Super Cerebrus means that the people who are
that's a lot of health.
Good Spellbook Swap, right? Exactly. That's like 6 times 3, 18 times 1300 is how much. That's a huge amount.
That's like 30,000 health. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. It's huge. And so those PvMers who are on the cusp of being able to Spellbook Swap, which is a huge improvement. If you don't do it, you absolutely should at those places. I cannot stress enough how massive of an improvement it is. So it helps those people get comfortable with Spellbook Swap under more friendly conditions. Whereas when I learned Spellbook Swap, like all of us, when we learned it, like around 10 months ago, it became popular, maybe a year ago. It became a thing. When they removed the necklace, I don't know, the arcane capacitator or whatever.
Okay.
When that got removed, that's when this became a thing.
Gotcha.
Was because before we had the arcane capacitator, but then like this became the replacement for that. It was just bring 10 runes, and like 10 runes is like a lot. But we just like kind of got thrown in the fire. I did this before rune patches even existed, so I literally had 10 runes in my inventory because there wasn't even a large rune pouch back then. So when I learned it, it was really, really stressful and really hard, and we like would fail kills just from running out of food. But obviously, like, you know, if you're PvMing, I always like believe in pushing yourself or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I just think that the only people it helps are people who aren't confident in their food consumption. And while it does have niche uses at 1K plus Enraged Telos and like 4-man hard mode, to me the positives just outweigh the negatives. But yeah, I like it.
And Pyrnassius?
Yeah, well, I mean, again, when this was first announced, it was simply to differentiate. They were going to have the different colors so that for your different setups, you knew what was in each pouch. So to make it easier that way, it was never about being able to have these extra pouches in there. And as you said, it's now allowing that extra tier of people to get out there and do that meta and get the quicker kills and do all that type of stuff. Now, there's two thoughts on that. Yes, it can be better, but it is still power creep. It is still, something that is making it easier and easier on those type of things. And while you're only naming those type of bosses, as newer ones come out and such, if they just get easier and easier for people, I think it hurts the game. It was a glitch that exactly the same way as the 4-tick auto attack was, that they stuffed up. But rather than fixing it, well, this one they did try to fix. They were going to reverse it, and then people screamed at them. So they said, "Oh no, we're just going to leave it in there for you." And then that's sort of what annoys me. That wasn't the intention of it at the start. It was done just solely as an inventory management thing in your bank. But because people screamed at it about them, that they turned around, panicked, and just said, "Oh no, we'll leave it there for you." Now,
so to be fair, before that though, Mod Shawnee was at so someone posted a PSA about rune pouches, and then added Mod Shawnee and said, "Is this intended?" And Mod Shawnee says, "Not sure, I'll check." And then a few minutes later, he says, "Yep, working as intended, I guess." And then he makes a joke, and Shawnee says, "I guess that means small rune pouches, dead content, rip." So Shawnee, before any of that, Shawnee specifically said, "Yes, this is working as intended."
And then he come back a little while later and said, "Oops, I stuffed up," and it was someone said stuffed up, and it wasn't supposed to be that way. And that was the way the whole thing was originally done. Now, okay, if we're going to do this, that's fine, but what I want to see also is now things like the quiver. I mean, I love my range, but why can't I be able to carry 3 different bolts, 3 different arrows in my Prifdinus quiver to make it that way I don't have to do all these swaps. I don't have to have 6 slots down the bottom tied up for different things. Why can't I now for my farming have a wheelbarrow where I can throw all my pot plants in, my seeds, my compost, all into that one area that holds them for me to free up all that space there, so I don't have to sit there worrying about I
did the math on the leprechaun, like the 255 limit. If the 255 limit is still imposed, I forget if they lifted it. I didn't test if they actually lifted it. I only was
it's 255 because that's all he holds.
Okay, I wasn't sure if they lifted the 255 limit or not. Let's just say they haven't lifted it. You would, as someone who does 3 farming runs a day, I would have to fill that every 7 runs. Like, that is useless to me. Every 7 runs, that's like every 2 days.
But why can't we have a wheelbarrow where we can just put the compost in there, and just bang and just do it like that?
If I could load up 1,000, that would be fine.
It's just always these things where they stuff up and they make these glitches for PvM, and then the PvM jumps up and down, and they said it was wrong. Shawnee shouldn't have said what he said, or whoever told Shawnee to say that was wrong.
And poor Shawnee.
Said, listen, we did it wrong. Yeah, that's right. Shawnee did the right thing, said I'll go and ask, and whoever he asked told him the wrong information.
It's not Shawnee's fault.
But the thing was, and that's probably why it was asked, because when we were first told about it, it was only for bank management that we were going to have the colors for. Whoever did the creation of it obviously said you can't have this item in if there's one other one in there, and done that. And people are saying it's not power creep, but it is power creep because it makes it easier and easier each time. And it's just, what gets me, what sort of annoys me, and if they come out and said at the start, "Hey, listen, this wasn't the way it was going to be. We've looked into it though. We find it's going to be a good quality of life thing. We're going to go back and test it first, and if we don't feel it is too OP, and by the sound of what you're telling me, it doesn't sound as OP as I thought it was." Then okay, we're going to leave it there. But just to turn around and say, "Oh, okay, because you all screamed at us and such, and we don't want to upset you, we're just going to leave it as it is." So they reversed the reversal of a mistake.
I just think for me, there are way more times that I would not successfully get a kill because me or someone else on the team forgot the correct runes. Because prior to this update, you were constantly having to shift your preset, because 10 presets is not enough if you're a PvMer. I'm sure it's not enough if you're a skiller either.
No, it's not.
So it's not enough. So you constantly are having to switch out your runes out of your pouches, and it's really easy to forget something. And so with this update, no one will ever forget the correct runes again. And so to me, that is a way
that's value right there.
That's a quality of life thing, and that's good there. But that's also, hey, teaches you next time, check before you go.
Yeah, but no one ever learns. You just keep doing the same thing over and over.
Because there's no...
And as I said, the way you've described it, it isn't as OP as I sort of thought it was, and sort of, you know, when all the issue was, because I don't understand that side of things as much. But still, you know, I would have liked to have seen them say, well, hang on a sec, let's go back, let's have a look at it, let's get it tested first, and if it's not OP, you know, we'll let it go. Not just to turn around and say, oh, okay, everyone's been jumping up and down, so we're just going to let it go. Show some balls is all I'm asking them to do.
Not on stream. That'll get me banned.
Yeah, just show some guts and say, well, hang on a sec. You want that? Let us check it out first. Come back to us in 2 or 3 days' time. Say, hey, listen, QA had a look over it. Not an issue. We spoke to some people. Not an issue. We're going to let it go. That's fine. I could have accepted that a lot more than just them sitting them, because, you know, a few people yelled at them, that they turned around and panicked and said, oh, no, that's okay. We'll leave it there for you. It's like if I made a mistake, if I handed over... Yeah, I know, but if someone handed me $100 for a $90 item and I accidentally gave them $90 back change instead of $10 back change, I said, oh, hang on a sec, no, I've made a mistake. And they yell and scream and jump up and down at me. I'm like, oh, geez, just keep that $90. No, I'm going to take it back and give them their $10 back. You know, I've realised the issue.
Yeah,
and fixed it. You know, I know it's not exactly the same type of thing. But what I'm saying is, they should have said, let us check it first. Let's make sure it's not OP. Then we'll let it go into game. But they didn't do that. They just panicked because everyone screamed at them, and they said, oh, okay, let's just have it. Don't worry about it. Just have it. You know, they're just I don't know. They just seem to be folding like a deck of cards every time.
They've talked about this before, is like, it's really hard to give the players a huge buff and then take that buff away.
Of course.
Because they were talking at RuneFest that the removal of a buff is perceived as a nerf.
That's right, but if it's a glitch, if it's something that is a mistake, that is fixing a mistake. That's not nerfing something. That is fixing a mistake, and that's exactly the same as 4-tick auto attack. It is a glitching game that they decided, and a continuous 4-tick auto attack they took out, but they were supposed to take the whole lot out. But there was so much, so much.
I have a legitimate
feedback from the community, people jumping up and down about it, and they've said all along it was a glitch, that they were going to be taken out, so people were aware of it. But then no, they kept, people screamed and screamed and screamed, and they said, oh well, listen, we'll just take the continuous 4-tick away and we'll leave that other one in there for you.
I have a question in regards to an ability, and then I think we should move on to the next topic. Yep. Mutated Fury, right? Yeah. Why is it so good in mobs? What does it do exactly? I'm just curious. Like, I have it.
What do you mean? Against mobs?
Yeah, like, I know it's like it has an AoE effect, doesn't it?
No, basically it's that Fury on Revolution is worse than just auto attacking. So you're better off in Legacy than using Fury.
No, I think he's thinking of Flurry. He said Fury, but are you thinking of the AoE Flurry?
The mutated Fury, the mutated version of the ability that like skyrocketed in price that I had to like buy for 50 something.
Yeah. Fury.
Yeah. It's a basic ability.
Basically, so it used to be a channeled ability where if the third hit went off, then it was bad, because basically the first 2 hits of Fury occupy 1 global cooldown, but then if you let it continue and do the third hit, then you're wasting a potential ability in exchange for only 75% damage. So Fury was extremely bad in Revolution AFK. Mutated Fury, however, is like the second or third best melee basic in.
Gotcha.
It's at worst the third best melee basic if you're Revo AFK.
Yeah.
Whereas it was the worst basic by far. Like Slice and Punish were better if you were AFKing.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so good.
Gotcha. Just wanted to, like, I knew there was a reason why I had to purchase it if I wanted to AFK with it. I just didn't really know why, and I wanted to know why.
Yeah, that's why. It's because Concentrated Blast and Fury have to be canceled after 2 hits.
Gotcha.
In order to be efficient.
Gotcha. Cool.
What about the mutated Flurry? Is that because I know there's Fury and Flurry, they mutated.
Yeah,
is that any good?
Flurry is very good in certain situations.
It's a similar situation though, where you cancel it after the second tick, I think.
Correct. Yeah, you cancel that. That's exactly right. You're meant to cancel it after That is absolutely correct.
Not tick. The second, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. And then mutated bards like change the freaking game. That ability is disgusting.
I'm gonna give the next article to Pern. You guys can read it at will. I'm gonna quickly run to the restroom. Feel free.
And I'm just gonna say congratulations to Derpdragon for getting his Armadillo Hill.
Oh, sweet. BRB. You can continue at will.
Okay.
Wait, is this on? Is that on old school?
No, I'm camping RS3 Arma.
Oh, okay. I was like, whoa, big. That's pretty good.
I wish.
Okay, this is from True Trimmer. It's a suggestion. Given the information presented at the Combat Council panel, I have a relatively quick, simple suggestion for the Comp Cape and Group Boss issues. Probably the biggest talking point at the Combat panel was the Reaper title requirement for Comp Cape. I don't think anyone in the community is satisfied with how it is right now, and a lot of ideas have been presented how to fix it. This suggestion isn't an idea on how to rework Comp Cape, rather it's a suggestion on improving bossing for solo players. One of the points brought up during the talk was that finding other players for group bosses was a challenge in and of itself, beyond the mechanics of the actual fight. Unfortunately, this was not expanded upon, and instead the conversation turned to players with disabilities or just low PvM skill. My suggestion is to fix this problem by introducing new abilities. We've seen several group bosses become solo bosses over time. For the early bosses like KBD through to Corp Beast, this was due to new gear, but next, Kelphite King and Rise of the Six have become very viable solo through Onslaught, Bladed Dive, and the Strike Bow special attack, although I'm sure challenge kills did them solo before all of these. I suggest new abilities to allow for solo kills of the remaining group bosses. These could come from ED3, be added to Shattered Worlds, or something else. One of the main mechanics would be, I imagine, some sort of after-image technique, where we create a decoy of ourselves that draws the aggro for a few seconds. Another could be an improved bind that works on any size NPC. I'm spitballing here, but I'm sure the Combat Council could come up with a few ideas. P.S. As an improved side effect of this is that it would make Iron Man stop being boost man mode. So, I mean, I really think for this type of thing, the best way is just make Comp Cape, Reaper all solo bosses, and make Trim Comp Cape have all the group bosses. But anyway, David, you're probably Dirt
so there's like three things. Like I'll respond to them backwards. The Iron Man being boost man mode, that will remain true, because why would you do this like after image technique when you could just AFK and watch your friends kill bosses for you? Like the way to train prayer in Iron Man is to do raids and not actually fight Beastmaster or Yakka. You just like sit and watch while the team does it, and then you collect your loot and you train prayer with Eric Bones. Like that, I don't know. That's not going to change. The other two things, like new abilities, I don't really think that resolves the Comp Cape problem. And then the Comp Cape issue, like, I don't know. I think it says completionist cape for a reason. There's PvM requirements, there's skilling requirements. The skilling requirements take a lot longer than the PvM requirements. It's like not close. There's way more hours that go into the Comp Cape are skilling based and questing based compared to PvM based. So it's like, if you want a Comp Cape and you don't want to complete a portion of the game, you can purchase kills from your friendly neighborhood leech services. But I don't know. I just think it's a completionist cape, so you should complete all content.
Question.
Well, then the Master Cape should be added to the Comp Cape. The Master Quest Cape.
Yeah, sure, that's fine. Yep. I'm not against more Comp Cape requirements. Like I think it's best in slot. It should have massive requirements. I think that's fine. Anytime you have a best in slot untradeable item, the requirements to get it should be tremendously large.
I agree with that. I'm all for insurmountable requirements. Like I don't care if there are capes that I can't get. I've never been against stuff like that. I like mountains in front of me. I like seeing stuff like that in the game. It gives me reasons to keep playing.
Oh, that's right. That's why I love these achievements.
I'd much rather have Master Cape added to Comp Cape than Reaper removed from Comp.
I would, yeah. I want to see...
But what about if you did, as I said, just solo? Because it is hard. I mean, yes, people can just buy it, but I mean, I don't like to buy things. I mean, I like to complete things myself. And when I say myself, I mean myself. I don't want to rely on people, so that's why I think all solo bosses should be on there. All and that includes
you're
next.
You're playing an MMO. Like I don't like I.
Yeah, but I hate people.
Agree with you on a lot of things.
I do. Listen, I'm a misanthrope too, but
you're choosing to play an MMO. You can't be like,
I agree with
I'm
David
playing an MMO, but I don't want to do any interaction with the players. Like,
let's have a look at some of the old quests where you had to use other players to quest. Now they've made those solo playable,
right? Which is a bad decision. Yeah, which is a bad choice.
But it's just sometimes so hard to get other people. I mean, we are lucky we have you. We know you to help us out and, do that type of thing. But there's a lot of people out there who can't do that type of thing. And that's where I think, some of those things that require other people, relying on other people is, maybe have a different, I mean, as we said, I really hate the name Comp Cape. It would have been better having some sort of max combat cape, and the comp cape is purely a cosmetic cape, and you can have your best in slot, bossing cape where you have done all that, and
perhaps it's time for a new paradigm, and we change the time by flipping the dime. I don't know, man.
But yeah, I mean, but I mean, I totally agree. Adding abilities, I don't think would do anything for this type of thing.
Killer Bunny, just want a quick question going back to Mutated Fury, if I can for a second. Killer Bunny wants to know if Mutated Fury crits, does say a Dragon Hatchet special ability have a 100% hit rate?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so that's interesting. That's a very niche ability. If you're curious, Dragon Hatchet used to have a glitch where you could use the D-Hatchet spec, and if you switch to a different weapon within one game tick, it had the accuracy of the weapon you switched to and didn't use any of your adrenaline. Huh. It has since been fixed, but we had a lot of fun abusing the Dragon Hatchet glitch at Virago and Telos for a while.
I can imagine.
I'm surprised I didn't introduce that as part of the game too. Mod Ramen probably didn't know about that one, eh?
Well, yeah, they told a responsible moderator who removed it from the game.
It's so funny. There's so many glitches and bugs that have been massively abused by PvMers over the years. They're just almost too many to count, and they can't keep up with it. And I guess they could ban people, but it's like
that doesn't help. But that doesn't help. That doesn't help to find more bugs, though. Like if you ban the people that are finding the bugs,
we always post on Reddit. Like we're always like, "Hey, by the way, LOL, another thing is broken."
Yeah.
Also, we're gonna keep doing this until you fix it. Your game.
That's the thing, though, right? Yeah. If you ban the people who are finding the bugs, you're not going to find the bugs anymore. Or
there's a difference between finding bugs and abusing bugs.
Yeah, I mean, they just admitted that they're going to keep abusing the bug, but at the same time, you need to fix your game. Like that's an open call.
I don't agree with banning anyone for that type of thing. I think if they come out and say, "Hey, this is a bug,"
if you're being cheeky about it, I'm okay with temp bans.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's what I was going to say. If you keep doing it, we're going to give you a 7-day ban or something like a 2-day ban, whatever. But yeah, I don't agree. If you've stuffed up the game, giving people perma bans or big long bans for that type of thing.
Temp bans.
It's your stuff up, not
Perma bans, in my opinion, are reserved for heavy real world trading and heavy botting. Like that's what perma bans.
That's the only things they should be. Yep. Or getting real nasty and racist and
you gotta serious cyberbullying or stalking. Yeah, obviously as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a category that is often forgotten.
Temp bans should always be the main go-to.
Thieves saying reaching a certain rune score for an alternate route to comp would be cool. Yeah, that would be cool, Mr. Ling. Also,
I think that is interesting to me as well.
A rune score cape would be a cool idea. I'd be into that. They've got some really
I
nifty
think
ideas.
more of the comp cape. I mean, and this is the one thing that I sort of crack it about with my Master Quest cape. I mean, things like Ava's Alerter and all that type of stuff, which they put on the comp cape and such, that should be something that is on the Master Quest cape as well. It should also have. I mean, it's got the same stats as a 99 cape. It takes a hell of a long time to get that, and maybe not necessarily. It doesn't need a high PvM style stats, but certainly things that come from like the Ardoin teleport, the Ava's Alerter, that type of thing. I think the Master Quest cape should have all those on it as well, because they are actual quest items, quest rewards.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I agree with the Ava's Alerter. I disagree with the Ardoin teleport, because the Ardoin teleport is task set, right? It's not a quest.
But you need to have it for the Master Quest cape.
Oh, you do? Interesting.
Yep. You need to have all the achievements done for the Master Quest cape.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, that makes sense then. It should definitely. Yeah, why wouldn't it be on there? It doesn't make sense for it not to be.
That's it.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't care. I mean,
yeah.
The fact that I think it's got the same as a 99 cape. I think it should have the same level probably as a max cape. Certainly nowhere near the level of a comp cape in combat stats. But on those other nice little extra things, and I think it should offer a little bit more. And comp cape, I don't believe Master Quest cape should be on comp cape. I do think it should be on trimmed comp cape. I was just saying that to be a bit of a dick, and you agreed with me, and I thought, well, hang on, you just blew me out of the water.
No, I mean, that was just that. I'm just saying, obviously I don't want Master Quest cape on comp cape, but I'm just saying I would rather if I were given a choice, either this gets added or Reaper gets removed. I'd rather think I'm always pro things being added to comp versus things being removed from comp. That was my point.
Yeah, and I don't want to see Reaper as a whole removed. As I said, I just want to see maybe two versions of Reaper, where one solo, one But then again, as we say, I mean, if we had gone back 2-3 years ago, Rise of the Six, that was not a solo boss. So where does that's where it does then start getting convoluted there. Well, what are we going to class as solo? What are we going to class as as team boss? But I
think if you're going to do Reaper cape, you can't have a solo one. It has to be all bosses.
Oh, for an actual Reaper cape, yes.
And
we were talking about changing the comp cape
or the achievement or whatever.
Yeah. Thank you, Killer Bunny, for the 50 bits.
I think it should be like. While I agree there's a problem, I think there's a problem with accessibility of group content. I still think that should be a requirement if it's going to be an achievement.
I mean, also, there's no boss in the game that can't be duoed. There's no boss that hasn't been duoed. So it's harder. Like, it's harder to duo Yakka than to do Yakka with 10 people. But duo is like a reasonable, I don't know. It's like you find one friend to do everything with.
Well, that's right. That's what I like about. Yeah, Solak, and I mean that's the only boss I need to get mine back, and I don't mind sort of that one there. My main thing was things like raids. I didn't realize you could duo raids. I thought 4-team was or triple. No, you told me you did a triple a while ago, and I thought that was amazing.
So I've done trio. I've done trio Yakka and trio BM. I've not duoed Yakka or duoed BM. Mostly, I think I could probably do it. It just takes a couple hours of attempts because you have to learn the rotations and stuff. And it's expensive in terms of Super Cerebrew usage, but every boss is technically doable. Like AOD has been duoed, Yak has been duoed many times, BM has been duoed many times. Obviously, duo is the most common way to do it.
Yeah.
Trio Yakka was really fun. I enjoyed that a lot.
Psycho, I said.
Dude, you know me.
Okay. Anyway, let's move on.
Ready to move on.
Creepy Pie, who says, why I played RS for over 10 years and now basically quit.
Oh boy.
I love the way they spell basically. I say basically quit because I'm hoping for exciting content for me in the future. I started playing around the mini-clip era, as many others, and fell in love with the steady and solid progression system. Gain a level, you can now mine faster. Train 20 levels more in another skill, and you can craft this armor. Well, over 10 years later, The updates read, kill this new boss with tick perfection execution and get a chance for an expensive item or pet. It's what many players want, but it's not for me. After maxing all skills fairly quickly, the road from 99 to 120 is too unrewarding, and GP goals are not exciting, as PvM can get up to 30 times the best skilling rate GP rates. I did get comp and loved getting it, but Trimmed has too much stupid requirements, so that's where I draw the line.
Yeah, they're stupid. Sorry.
I basically miss some more non-RNG chill goals that actually feel rewarding. I'm not interested in intense gameplay in this game. Just my 2 cents. Hopefully I speak for more skillers in the community too. Well, do we have the perfect update for you, mate?
Don't you like that entire argument that you all just had boiled down into they're stupid?
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, you know, you just had 130 new achievements to go for.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Come on back,
update
buddy.
For you.
Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. Yeah. That's, you know, I understand where he's coming from, but yeah, that's exactly why Jagex went the achievement route, because the task system was getting a little stale. It feeling like no one wanted to do the task system in its current state. It was boring. It was, you know, but the second you put it on a high score and give it points and gamify it, now it's a hot ticket, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, and
see, I was always doing those for fun anyway beforehand. So yeah, but now there is a score. No, I've never even.
I'm competitive, I'm competitive, and I'm not doing it. But I like seeing high scores.
Yeah.
But I see competitive, so now I can run competitions. I love the spirit of you know, like, I'm a ringmaster. Like, that's the type of stuff I like to do. So I'm excited.
I just want to point out one of the top reply for here says, contrary to popular belief, only a tiny minority, an absolutely tiny minority of players do stuff like Solak. Even Jagex have conceded this point. JMods seem to have forgotten that the core of this game was always casual skillers, and it was a crucial part of gameplay, not just something to be skipped so you can get to PvM. By focusing obsessively on PvM, which is important but ultimately a minority activity, and cannibalizing skilling through MTX, easy XP, and excessive events, they have driven away a lot of players. Is it any wonder OSRS is getting the new players and RS3 doesn't?
What are they doing in OSRS? What are they doing? What is the most popular activity in OSRS? PvM?
PvM.
Pretty Slayer.
The new Theater of Blood.
Slayer, definitely.
But definitely Slayer.
Again, Hunter is like really viable. Like chins are always needed. Construction is very useful.
That's cool.
Fishing, anglerfish.
Construction
is really
good
useful.
over there. Yeah.
I'm glad to hear. I love hearing fishing being useful. Like, I wish fish would come back in RuneScape 3.
That's the one good thing at OSRS. You don't run to a bank and your life points just automatically refill. You actually have to eat food to replenish life.
Well, I miss poison.
Unless you have the rejuvenation pool in your player-owned house, which fully restores
takes a long time.
But you have to go to your house. How many banks are there in RuneScape 3?
No. But that's something you have to work for and build up
yourself.
You don't just run to a bank. You know, at level 3 can run to the bank. The day you log in, you start losing points. Run to the bank and fill up. Yeah, great.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, I appreciate that about old school RuneScape. RuneScape 3 has become casual, and I'm okay with that because, like, I understand they're widening the audience, but you can only widen it so far until it snaps. Like, what's happening here? I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, this thing about, you know, too much PvM, and then over the last 5 years,
there hasn't been too much PvM.
No, that's right. The 5 years post sort of EOC, it was a lot of sort of PvM.
Yeah.
But I think the last couple of years they've really started to level that out a bit.
Yeah, it's been pretty level.
And it has been good. And I mean, with the things that they're doing, and like we're going to see this starting with the mining and smithing rework, where, you know, all of a sudden you're going to not be getting all your bars and all your sort of supplies coming in from PvM. You know, and hopefully that works well, and then we'll start seeing that with herbs, and we'll start seeing that with other supplies. So, you know, We remember the very first thing they did with this was the fire runes, when they stopped having so many fire runes coming in, and watch them go from 16 GP up to the 100, 103, 107 GP. It's going to take time, and we've got to give them that time to do it in. But I mean, you can't say too much PvM, because the PvM community is still a very thriving community. I think where he says an absolute tiny minority, you're looking at one boss, Solak. You've got to look at all the bosses that are out there that people do, from Talos to Solak to Next to
Vindicta. Vindicta is one of the most popular updates of the last 3 years.
That's right. God Wars Dungeon 2 is a brilliant update.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
To be fair, God Wars Dungeon 2 annihilated what was left of the skilling economy. So it wasn't all good. But in terms of popularity, huge. But it destroyed skilling by itself.
It dropped so many herbs and seeds and
magic logs.
Oh, magic logs.
Magic logs, coal. Yeah, if you want a culprit for skilling economy being destroyed, it was definitely not Telos, Solak, AOD, Virago. That is not it. It is God Wars Dungeon 2 by far.
Totally agree there. But they are going to start working on that, and fingers crossed. We see that. And the thing is, it's not an overnight fix. It is going to take, and for the for the skilling side of things to sort of recover and start making money, it's not going to be okay. They've taken these out. Next week I'm going to start making all this money on this stuff. No, because there's so much of that in game anyway. It's going to have to slowly come out. But you give them 6 months, 8 months, 12 months, and you will start seeing those significant people sort of increases in skilling again. So.
Gamers, let me rephrase it. Not people. Not that gamers aren't people, but the specific category within people. Gamers have a hard time thinking in terms of months. 12 months?
I want it now.
Yeah, that's a long time for a gamer.
Well, we saw that guy with the Mac problem, saying it's been 3 days and you haven't fixed it yet. Oh, you cracked me up, that one.
I admit myself, even when my client was crashing every couple 20 minutes for a month. I got pretty salty. It sucks when your game isn't working correctly. I get that. But,
I get salty when we go 5 weeks without an update. That's a long time to I pay money for this game.
I've gotten over that. I've gotten to the point where I'm just I'm just making money in my money pit here with Abbey Demons, whatever. I don't care anymore. This game is my distraction from real life, so that's all. That's good.
But no, I was just saying, I think it is time that they come out and say, hey, with the quality that we are expecting from this game now, you're not going to have weekly updates. You're going to get one decent update a month. You'll have a few patches, a few smaller ones, but there'll be basically it'll be a monthly sort of major update. Rather than because people are just expecting every week.
And what's wrong with that? That seems
there is nothing wrong at all.
That seems completely reasonable. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry,
but we also need to remember that when they spoke about expansions was voted on overwhelmingly by the community. Yeah, we want expansions. And then what happened when you got nothing for the 6 months that they were doing, or 3 months that they were doing it? Everyone complaining about no updates.
To be fair, they screwed that up royally.
Well, yeah. I mean, when we did get it, it was oh. But I mean, again, I don't think Menaphos was a bad update. I think
it wasn't a bad update.
I think it was the wrong update for the first expansion, because it was aimed more at that middle tier rather than the sort of higher end players.
It was the right update for the people, for the community that my words are getting.
It was aimed at.
Yeah. The target audience needed that update. But
that's right. But the way they did the reputation system and the rewards from it and all that, and I mean, the whole desert rework was beautiful.
It was hyped completely incorrectly. Go ahead, David.
I'm here still waiting for the skull to come out.
Oh goodness, you're gonna be waiting. You might be a Skull and Bones by the time it comes out.
I really liked that whole.
Me too.
It was so pretty.
I like it too.
The closed economy wasn't that good, but it's like the best XP in game for hunter fishing.
I have to say,
if they
go ahead, Pern.
No, I was just going to say, if they do, they need to work out the economy to work something like they do with the farm. The farm has got that closed economy that works perfectly.
It's beautiful.
They need to do something. They would need to rework that closed economy for the Ark.
Actually, instead, when they're working on the Ark, instead of working on the Ark, just make more of the farm.
Yeah. Now, when they take mobilizing armies out.
Put a player-owned farm on the Ark where you can have an entire
player-owned plantation. Yeah, it's like Tropico 5. Yeah.
Okay, I'm there.
I'm in.
You sold us. Yep. We're right.
All right. Who's calling? Who do I call? Oh man, I wish I worked at Jagex. Why can't I be like a 20-year-old grad?
At Jagex, yeah, you'd go like. You'd be like, we're going to have a major expansion. It's under wraps. It's secret. Big XXX project. We can't tell you anything about it.
Yeah, I'd announce it on Reddit.
6 months of no updates later, it's going to be like everything is removed except the whole of Gielinor is now just a farm.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
It'd be Harvest Moon. Yeah.
Reclaim the wilderness. Reclaim the wilderness.
It'd
be giant
farm. Turn the entire wilderness into just a farm.
You just saw my one.
Like, the soil is particularly fertile because of all the dead bodies that have decomposed in the wilderness.
Because I banned everybody.
Perfect farming spot.
It's my game now. I banned everybody.
So it's a great lore reason as well for wilderness to be a farm.
I'm gonna just move along now and talk about
what I was going for. Just the only update I want is the the wilderness.
This is perfect. A Dangerous Precedent by Rob. I don't even know where we're going here, but this is called A Dangerous Precedent. Killer Bunny saying, Magebit, be sure to put in the Gielinor agility course for the entire map. That's actually something that I actually think the game needs. And
that would have been good if they had gone through with that.
An agility course that goes around the entire game is actually something that would be amazing, and I'm sad that they didn't do it. Anyway, what's Rob got? He's sad about RuneScape Classic. I think this is a rant. All right, here we go. So we're into the last few posts here, so they're probably going to be shit posts, so get ready. Buckle up. We're into the end here. In 2004, the Gowers promised Players Classic would remain open to those loyal to it and decided to stay. Thousands chose to do so, leaving their items and skills on the game they were acquainted to and preferred, and as they continued happily playing with the RuneScape they loved, post-RuneScape 2 release, a very small number have retained that decision had they known what would eventually take place. 6th of August 2018, Jagex made the Gowers liars and shut down 17 years' worth of hard work, progress in history. Corporate greed has infiltrated Jagex. The Jagex's excuses were lies, and sorry ones at best. They have betrayed their eldest customers, the ones that made them. First of all, I'm that's me. I'm one of the ones that made them. So I evolved. I'm still here. You're not speaking for everyone, Rob. Just because you couldn't evolve and move on, and
because you didn't want a car and you wanted to keep riding your pony.
I say pour one out for Rob. He made us. He made the company personally. Yes, press F.
Press F for Rob. Let me continue on here. Everyone should take a warning, because this president, we can no longer be confident that old school RuneScape or RuneScape 3 will not eventually meet the same fate. Rob? Rob?
Really?
Rob, I'm going to tell you something, Rob. I can't guarantee that you will not eventually meet the same fate.
Oh my God.
I have offered
two things guaranteed in life: death and taxes.
Hey, Pure Sushi, how you doing? Yeah, Rob, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to tell you this, but you too might meet an unfortunate demise someday. I have offered that company a deal. allow me to personally pay the cost to maintain one single server. I have offered to contractually pay any additional costs it would take the company. Let me just recharge myself here. To keep our history and progress alive while allowing the company to keep all membership and profits from a single server's players, Jagex has denied me this request. I'm afraid we're not offering it, quote unquote. When asked about a source code release. It's closed source. It's proprietary information. But they're not going to release... Like, come on. Like I
Can I get a Coca-Cola and just ask them, you know, I just want their original Coke recipe because I wanted to start making it the way it used to be made in the 80s.
Like, this company is a thriving company. They're not going out of business. This is not abandonware. Like, this would be akin to asking Blizzard for their source code to the original Blizzard game. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, you can't do that. It's just, even by my standards, where I believe that if a game is completely gone down and the company has completely abandoned it, you can run your, like, I have no problem running a server of a game that has completely gone under, and the company has also gone under. But Jagex has not gone under. They are a wonderful, thriving, multi-million-dollar company, indie company at that, I might add. So you cannot say that they are not, like, you just can't steal their source code. Anyway, allow me to continue. Jagex has turned from a small business of 3 brothers to a large, greedy corporation that will backstab the very community that made their riches in order to pinch pennies. Welcome to the new age of RuneScape.
This sounds like the intro to like a horror movie or something. I'm like... I want this to be a movie.
If I just had like the stingers like behind us. Quote unquote RuneScape Classic is and always will be the true RuneScape, and no amount of corporate greed or microtransactions can change that. RSC forever. And then he's got a beautiful little picture of Rob in pixels, which, you know, tickles my nostalgia, and I do love dearly. And I miss RuneScape Classic. It was my childhood. I played.
Wasn't that Classic Mud the actual original?
I mean, that was never released to the public. So I mean,
okay.
Only about like 5 or 6 people ever got to play the Mud. It was a college.
We should demand the source code, mate.
You're right. We should demand the source code for the Mud. It probably doesn't even exist anymore. But probably wouldn't even run on modern computers. We'd probably have to go get like an old 8086 to get it to run. But
well, we just demand their hardware as well.
What am I thinking? Yeah, right.
Demand it all.
Anyway, I mean, I was there. I was there for the shutdown of the servers. Rob was there as well. There was a ton of great people there. It was a good time. It was a sad time. Go ahead.
It was. But let's also remember that they actually delayed the shutdown because there was one guy who wanted to finish that quest, and they said, okay, we'll hold it open for you. But, you know, they're backstabbing with everyone.
Oh, yes. I mean, the backstabbing company that doesn't care about anyone and has no heart. Yeah. Yet they held the servers open for someone so they could finish doing a quest.
For one player.
One player
who wanted to finish his quest, and they actually held it off and let him do that. I mean, yeah.
But they don't care about
backscaping. No.
They don't care about their players, though. Not at all. Not at all. Anyway, let us continue on into the unknown with our guaranteed quality posts from
this guy here. Just knows how to get more players to RS3.
Oh, yes. Okay, this
is the very best one.
The guaranteed method on how to get players into RuneScape 3. This is our final post of the day, right? I believe.
Yep.
Final post of the day. So this has got to be the good one. Warming up the hands here. Oh boy. I think I know how to get more. Wow, that's a good title. That is not only how you get more players, that is how you get more people to read your post right there. I think I know how to get more. Players in RS3. I guarantee you he just couldn't fit the entire title there. He's not like some genius SEO master or anything. He's just... Yeah. Anyway, players in RS3. Now, hear me out. It's going to be a far stretch of the imagination. Okay, I love it when I love it when people start with "now hear me out." You know it's going to be good.
Wait till the end before you slap me.
I'm already in. I'm already in. I already agree. Where do I press like?
My poker chips are. I'm just sliding them across the table. I got okay. All right. So, what if at the end of every month, like say at the 28th to the 30th, Jagex gives players triple XP gain only for RuneScape 3 because you know we're the easy escape game, of course. And you have to be a member to get those benefits. Fair enough. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that would be. You know, it's a win. There's no way that they can lose, and more people will win and want to join. Of course. There's no way that people are just going to sign up like a bot. It's a win, and there's no. And another thing, that's when you're skilling. For every 100th enemy you kill, you get a genie lamp. Oh, this gets even better. And instead of every day, it's a random. Instead of random crap. What? Okay. This is getting weirder. Anyway, you get one genie lamp for every 116 or so sharks. Okay.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Or 600 willow logs. That is, you know, you gotta. There's some sort of equate there. There's I don't know where that is, but yeah, 600 willow logs collected and will provide 3K to 10K bonus. Infinity running should be an option. Okay, yeah, I guess infinity running can be an option. Zero food is burnt, and monsters are easier to kill when you're lower level. This was written by me when I was 12, and you get the classical attack style setup whenever it's called, where you select chop or slash. I don't even know what that means. 100.
Wait, was chop ever an option?
I'm not 100% sure.
I don't think that was ever a thing. I don't think there was ever a chop style.
I don't know. You're the PvM master.
Derp, what is it?
Maybe when you're wielding an axe. I don't know exactly. I know hack is for like.
Hack. That's what it was called. It was called hack.
Yeah,
that's correct. Hack
and slash. Yeah, 100% guaranteed. More people will be going to and are now play RuneScape. Good finale right there. Good final sentence. Killer Bunny saying, simple cure for 100% common ailments. They don't want you to know. Click here. Yeah, exactly. That's how you get them to click.
So who's ready to start the petition to remove Mod Pips and make this person CEO?
Yeah. Unbox Cow.
I'm not a fan of Mod Pips because I reckon he loves OSRS a little too much. I would rather him than this guy anytime.
The revolution starts now, people.
All right. First of all, I just want to let you know that this person has some really top support, some top ideas, such as other posts as, can we talk about sex here, spelled SECKS? Contents of the post have been hidden. Tufty responding, no, we have rules and guidelines. He has another post saying, what does MTX mean? Yeah, I think he definitely should, he could definitely...
So he's the new Tiger 100.
He is the new Tiger 100, yes. He, I believe, is definitely a valid Tiger 100 Hall of Fame member.
Wait. Why wasn't this post, I know how to get more ... SECKS?
You know, because he didn't want that many clicks. You know, you only want so many clicks. You got to be careful how many clicks you get. You know, there's a limit to the clicky nature. All right, so we're gonna get into the end cap here, I think, and we'll have some. We're about to have an exciting announcement here as I finish this trade-off. Yep. Okay. Cool. Now that it's official, I'll put that in my bank into the. Does that just dump all your money? Okay. Cool. Fine. That's fine. I'll just withdraw a certain amount for my. Yeah, 360 GP is fine. That's my budget for the week. That'll be a nice budget for the week. So thank you very much to the very generous Derpdragon. for increasing
problem.
the contest by basically doubling the contest by, well, I guess the contest was 100, what was it, 100 mil, 150 mil, and now it's 250 mil. So I guess I don't know math. That's not doubling, but that's close to doubling. That's a lot of money.
He's dumped another 100 mil onto you.
Yeah. So I will scatter the prizes, so I'll make sure that that's equaled out. But that's going to greatly increase the amount of money that our prize pool will get. So again, if you're interested in entering into our pool, that will equally spread out across the 10 prizes. So that is going to boost up.
Nah, make it a top 15 now.
I could do that if you want. Do you think that's a better idea? Because we don't really have that. Yeah, we don't really have that many people in the contest.
You only got 21, exactly.
Yeah. I'd rather give more money to.
Exactly. That's what they started doing with the with my old poker. They took a bunch of money from the top of the thing and spread it through the field more. But yeah, you pay $2,000 to enter a tournament, and you win $2,100.
Yeah.
Yippee.
So
it's like
if you are interested in entering the competition, thank you very much, Derp. Yes. So which is what you said, 125 times is 172 is what you said. Cool. Whatever Killer Bunny said, 172 million is what you said. Cool. Yeah, okay. I don't know numbers. The exact amount is not super important to me because I'm a billionaire. It doesn't really matter. I wish I could say that in real life.
Yeah. You sound like Vincent Mann when he took down the WCW with Ted Turner. He goes, because Ted Turner tried to shut the WWE down. He says, "How do you beat a billionaire? You become one yourself."
It's just a matter of I have to be careful. Like my money is not all liquid. I only have so much liquid cash. Most of my money is in rare items.
He's got some of the paper ones too.
It's in discontinued items and untradeable. A lot of my money is actually in untradeable stuff. But that's the thing about the wealth evaluator is I take my value from that and I like to click the button that says show untradeable wealth. So because it makes me feel better about myself, and the value basically like doubles when you click that button. So I'm
most of my money is also untradeable because I have so many died.
Yeah, a lot of my stuff is like stuff that I've bought that is now degraded and you can't sell it anymore. But yeah, or it's just it's a lot of my stuff is just stuff you can't trade anymore, and but I'm counting it as wealth. But it's
I also have 20k Silverhawk feathers, which is a lot of my money.
Yeah,
which I guess I could sell, but I'm not gonna.
Exactly, same here. I've got a buttload of Silverhawk feathers that I bought under market when they came into the game, from that Dueling Chests promo. They came into the game at like 22k because so many, I guess, people were getting them like crazy from the one of the chests were giving out buttloads of them. So people were just dumping them onto the GE under value, and I was scooping them up under value. And but I totally don't plan on selling them at above value or normal value. I'm going to use them because I hate agility.
Yeah, 120. You got to get the 120 agility cape to go with your blue party hat.
Yeah, well, I'm never getting that blue party hat, but I want that yellow party hat. Someday.
Yeah.
I got to start with the yellow. Maybe I'll trade my way up to the blue someday. Anyway, anyone have anything they want to plug or talk about before we actually get the wrap up here, and then I'll play the rerun of the show for anyone who missed any of the beginning and wants to hear about the golden age of mobile that RuneScape has hit with over 120,000 players. Good. Anyone?
I'm going to say it's TeamSpeak week, so or team split week. So
TeamSpeak.
Arguably best week to learn Virago if you're interested. Best boss in the game. Still the best boss in the game.
And what's the best way to get help learning Virago? Like, how can people get into that?
So back in the day, I learned by just like going on the forums under teamwork and just like begging to get on teams and just like dealing with the flamed until I got better.
Okay.
But not everyone wants to like deal with that. I don't know, just like
straight up.
I think boss school is still a thing, and Wumpry, who used to come on once in a while, has a new clan. I can't remember the name of it, but I'm sure it's easy to find on forums, and he takes learners all the time and is an extremely just like nice person.
Yeah, Wumpery's a great person.
Yeah, it's like a good guy. I mean, you could also go with me. I'm a little intense. Like, for example, if you come with a yak, I won't let you challenge until you dismiss it because I don't believe in yaks. But if you want a more laid-back experience, Wumpery is great.
Yeah. Davis is a very kind taker to Vrago.
You will learn quickly with me, though, so that's the upside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was nice to you, I think.
Yeah, even when I made a crap ton of... Well, not a crap ton. When I made a few mistakes.
Yeah, and I don't think we failed kills or anything. So, I think, yeah. But anyways, Team Split is a great week to learn.
Cool. Righto. I'm glad to hear that. That's good to know. Pern, you got anything you want to talk about?
I was just going to say I will have the new Gillinor Origins out next week. I was going to record it this week, but a lot of stuff sort of come up. But I will definitely get it out early next week.
Glad to hear that.
Nice. I'm so excited about that.
Me too.
Yeah, that's right. You're 1-1. It wasn't as much information as I thought I could find, but what there is really interesting. So,
yeah, I was thinking there's got to be some stuff that's good.
Yeah, he's got an interesting story.
Yeah, cool. Anyway, I appreciate all of you for taking the time to come out and do the show with me this morning. It's been a great show. We packed a lot of stuff, despite there not really being any game updates. So I'm proud of that. And I have one more thing we could talk about, which is that ridiculous, what was it?
Halloween event?
No.
Oh, sorry.
I know you hate that Halloween event.
When you said ridiculous, I just automatically...
Halloween event. Don't.
No,
it's been a good morning.
That advertisement that they did on Instagram. It just looks like somebody took almost like accidentally took a picture.
I was going to say, someone's just like, they were running through there and they've hit the wrong button and it just took a snapshot as they were running. Let's just chuck an ad on that.
allow me to preface this for the audio listeners here. So, obviously, Instagram is a picture-sharing website, and there are sponsored pictures, which are advertisements, obviously. And RuneScape is sponsoring an advertisement for the game, and you'd think that they would use an image that shows off the beauty of RuneScape or the excitement of RuneScape, like maybe in one of the new elite dungeons, or an exciting boss, or a beautiful like landscape or something.
Dragon.
Yeah, no, it's the side of like the house where the implings are. Like it's just literally like the siding of a house, and it's just like, yo, come play RuneScape. And it's like, what the what?
There's not even an NPC stand.
It's just like, hey, maybe
I think it says your journey awaits or something.
Yeah. It's like, hey, you want to play some RuneScape? Maybe. we got some. You can play.
Someone dropped the ball.
Yeah. Here's I got a response. I got a response here from JD, who is apparently JD does a lot of the website stuff. He's not in control of this, but he did respond. He said, "Hello, we've passed this post on to the digital marketing team, who are responsible for all paid marketing across a multitude of channels, including Facebook, Instagram, and display banners. Their approach is to continuously test different creative variations."
This is
trying to excuse this.
This is like the Three Stooges or something. I feel like this is Groucho Marx talking right now. There's no way this is real.
It's like they grab a whole lot of horse crap and throw it against the wall. See what sticks.
Talk about
it's
creative.
Like modern art, guys.
Talk about
you just don't understand.
Yeah, talk about creative variations. In order to understand, just talking about like you don't understand. I'm sorry. In order to understand what resonates with new and lapsed users, listen, I'll talk about. I got something lapsed, all right. Hold on. In the past, they have consistently found that gameplay screenshots and videos work better than artwork when the objective is to bring lapsed players back into the game and to attract users to create accounts.
That's great.
Yeah, sure.
Not this picture.
This particular ad is part of that testing in an iteration process and is currently being run alongside many other creative variations to see what works best. Having said that, the team are always open to feedback from active players, and any recommendations for creative ideas for the digital marketing channels are welcomed. With regards to organic social posts, I just keep picturing the fucking picture. I'm sorry. With regards to the organic social posting listed in other comments, I will pass this feedback into the team. Ultimately, I'm accountable for organic social and represent my team, so would appreciate any constructive feedback on how we can improve. We are a small team, though, and by social and RuneScape's ever-changing nature, we're not going to get everything right all the time. That being said, I've spoken to those who look day-to-day running of the channels about some of the issues listed in the comments already. All right, here's an idea. Don't take pictures of walls. Don't take pictures of walls. That's tip number one.
If he's in charge of organic social interaction, this message was definitely not an organic social interaction. That was corporate boilerplate response.
Yeah.
Organic something. hey, but it does have 2 likes.
Oh, good. Good.
Which were the 2 mods who posted it.
You sure had a chuckle. I mean, that's not really a good response, is it? That's not really constructive feedback.
I know, but I mean...
No. At a certain point, LOL seriously is constructive feedback. That is sufficient.
Even if they had have been like featuring one of the nice skyboxes or something like that.
I mean, all right. Here's
this side of a wall.
Here's
not an NPC there.
Here's
what there's not an imp flying. There's nothing.
When I see this picture, basically what I think of is I want to hang out my laundry to dry. Like, that's what I see. It just looks like I see a line there. I think that's part of the agility course, but it just reminds me of like a laundry line where I just need to hang up my laundry.
Actually, no. That's because it's where the fairy ring is, because you can sort of just see the fairy ring down the bottom there.
Yeah.
It's it reminds me. I look at that. Oh yeah, I must go see Grandma this weekend.
I mean, there's so many angles that you can take of Prif in this that is just kind of sad.
If they were going for like, wow, look at this like village, isn't it
fair,
so like wondrous?
To be fair,
that's a terrible picture.
Don't take one wall.
To be fair, taking a screenshot in the phone's I don't even know the portrait view. Trying to get a good screenshot in portrait view of a landscape is not easy to do. So, just to be fair on that end.
I feel like he just uploaded the wrong file. He had like a screenshot that he liked, so he kept it, and then the correct file right next to it, and he accidentally clicked this one. That's what happened.
Maybe. Try again. Can't win every time. That's okay. Can't win every time. Rightio then. I'm glad I was able to bring that as the final topic to the show. Anyway, I think we're good. If you want to, we have a Facebook page. You can engage with us. Facebook.com/RSWeekly. We're on Twitter as well, @RSWeekly. You can join us on Discord if you open your browser and go to runescape.chat. That will redirect you to our Discord channel. If you want to, you can rate us and review us on iTunes. We really appreciate that. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like the video. It helps us a lot. You can leave a comment, too, if you found anything interesting that you wanted to talk about. I tried my best to respond to comments. If you want to check out the clan, you can do so in-game at KillSkillNChill. That's KillSkill, the letter N, chill. You can check us out on the web at runescape.club. That's our Rune Clan rankings. You want to check out my progress? That's runescape.expert. That's my Rune Clan ranking in progress. You want to check out our YouTube channel? That's our VODs and all of my previous series and all of our stuff that we're doing there. I'm going to try to get together with Spooder this weekend and start a new series, hopefully, which will be YouTube specific for a little while. That's runescape.video. You want to check out the podcast archives? You can do so over at runescape.today or any podcast aggregator. You can find us on your phone, iTunes, all that fun stuff. If you like what we do, help us out. Patreon.com/RuneScape. You can find the pre-show. Today's pre-show, any pre-show. We have other material available as well. We've done other content. Past Elite shows are available from previous years. If you want to donate, you can do so as well at paypal.me/RSW. We appreciate that. One-time donations. Again, special thanks to our top Patreon supporters, Sudwood, and again, 11 others for their support. Graciously thank you for helping us run the show. We wouldn't be able to do it if it wasn't for our patron supporters, so thank you. Again, you can get blogs, pre-shows, and all that stuff over at patreon.com/RuneScape. And again, we'll be back to do it all over again next week. Thank you, Pure Sushi, and thank you, Killer Bunny, and everyone who stuck around. I will be back later this evening because I have to start working on my Monkey Butler for Double XP weekend next week. So if you are interested, we'll be doing Achievement Fridays because it is November and I was supposed to be working on that last Friday. I missed last Friday, but I'm not gonna miss this Friday. So thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, happy scaping.